Are you presenting? Because the screen you're sharing shows your slide deck, and I think you're sharing the wrong screen because the camera screen is actually.
Let me try it again. I'm gonna do it again. So let me know if you see my slides now. Can you see the slides?
I
No,
see
it's
the
on
slide,
this.
but it's not on the main screen.
Oh, that's kind of weird. Oh, I have to share screen. That's why. Got it. So let me share, and then now you guys can tell me. So here we go.
Um,
There you go. Yeah, it works now.
Can you guys see us? Perfect.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. This is Flutter Festival, GDG Lawrence. My name is Roman Jacques. I am one of the lead organizers at GDG Lawrence. Uh, I just wanted to say welcome, everybody, for joining today, spending some of your Saturday with us. We're very excited to have this event with you. We hadn't done a couple of events in a while, but here we are again, back on the fold, and just doing events with the community. So I'm Roman Jacques. I'm a Flutter GDE, and I'm a lead organizer at GDG Lawrence. And here's also the rest of the team that is helping us out. So can you introduce yourselves, Lionel?
Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here today. My name is Lionel D'Souza. I'm a full stack engineer and also I work in cloud domain, especially AWS and GCP. I'm also a GG organizer along with Roman. That's it. Thank you everyone for being here today. Really excited to have you guys.
Great. Thank you, Lionel. Kevin?
Good morning, everyone. Welcome today to joining our session. My name is Kevin Kwan. I'm a software architect at Worthen. I'm also part of the GDG organizer for Lawrence.
Great. Thank you, Kevin. So the team is going to be on deck. If you guys have any questions or anything, you can immediately ping us in the chat and we can address some of your questions. Great. So also we have partnering chapters. We couldn't have done it without the collaboration of other chapters such as GDG Capital Region, Linda Kovacs, and the GDG Boston Android. Also Elizabeth, she's like a pro in Android, the same as Nav Singh. Our GDE in the house. So thank you so much, everybody. All these collaborating chapters, bringing the community together and bringing great quality events such as this one that we're doing right now.
Roman, your camera is showing the slide, not your video.
No, can you see the slides right now?
No, I'm saying your camera feed is showing the slide.
That's totally fine. So if I even stop the video right now, can you see the?
Yeah, I can see the slide. Yes.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll turn it over again when I flip. So yeah, so let's mention again the code of conduct. So again, make sure that we all be respectful. Let's try to collaborate. Let's try to communicate and just be nice to one another, because that's what we're here for. We're here to learn. We're here to have fun. Learn about Flutter. Get a lot of cool stuff. Just get together with the community the same way that we're doing right now. So we appreciate that everybody follows the community guidelines. So let's continue. And this is the rough agenda of what we have. Again, we have it designated like this, but we may flip the script at any moment just so that we want to accommodate to your needs as well. So again, we're doing some welcomes and intros right now. Right after this, we're going to be doing the Flutter Study Jam using Quick Labs, or what they call now Cloud Boost Skills, formerly known as Quick Labs, is going to be led by Kevin Kwan. He's going to be showing us some of those great Flutter Code Labs where you can get badges for free, and then you can even do on your own until May 1st, because they're going to be open for free until May 1st. Then we're going to have our Flutter trivia session, which is going to be led by Lionel. You're going to have a lot of fun because it's going to be like Flutter fun questions. You don't have to be a pro at Flutter to answer these questions, but you're going to see that. Then we're going to have a small break so that we can have a break from the screen, and then we're going to come back right away for the another hands-on Firebase and Flutter Code Lab, which we're calling it GDG Community Meter, because we're going to pool our resources and we're going to collaborate in a common project where all of us are going to interact and bring the community together. So stay tuned for that. And then at the end, we're gonna do some of the raffles. So some of the raffles that we have are one $100 Amazon gift card. So please scan the QR code that is on your screens right now. The team is also going to be dropping the link in the chat about how you fill out this form for getting some of the raffle items. So again, one $100 Amazon gift card. That is price number one. Price number two is two $50 Amazon gift cards. And three, we're going to have three $25 gift cards. So all you have to do is just fill out the form below, scan the QR code on your screen, and get in the raffle so that later you can get one of these items. So I'm very excited to be sharing all of this because, again, we want to give you, as a token of our appreciation, we want to, reward you for the fact that you're here. So can the team drop the link in the chat just for the folks to get into the raffle? Great. So I'm going to continue. But this is not the only thing that we have for raffling. We are also going to be raffling 5 Flutter swag vouchers so that you can also get a plush toy and a Flutter sticker. You also get into this raffle in the same form where you get into the raffle for the Amazon gift cards. You get into the raffle so that you can get a large one of these guys right here. I'm gonna share my my video now, and then I'm gonna flip it to my camera so that you guys can see it. So you're gonna get one of these large plush toys like the Dash, the mascot. So you're gonna get one of these and some Flutter stickers as well when you get into this raffle. So please scan the QR code in the screen or type the URL that is provided in the screen as well. So get into the raffle for both Amazon gift cards and plush toys. But this is not all either. We have a lot more anyway. Let me show you. We're also going to be doing the Flutter trivia. It's going to be 20 questions, random questions in the world of Flutter, so that now the person who answers the most correct questions in that Flutter trivia contest is going to get a $25 Amazon gift card plus a Flutter swag voucher. Then the second place and third place of whoever completes most questions is going to get a Flutter swag voucher. So this is completely separate from the raffle. So you could get more stuff. You can even get 2 swag vouchers. You can get 2 Amazon gift cards as long as you get into the raffle and participate in the Flutter trivia session later. I told you we will be doing this for the community, bringing the community together, doing fun stuff, so that you don't fall asleep on the other side of the screen, but at the same time you learn Flutter. So I truly appreciate everybody participating and everybody being part of this experience. Again, if you guys want to also be part of our community, you could be anywhere you want in the world and you still want to be part of the GDG Lawrence community. Why don't you join our Slack channel? Just follow that URL. The team is also going to drop it in the chat, and then you can join our GDG Lawrence Slack channel. You can answer any questions. You can ask us any questions. We can answer them for you. We have multiple channels in there depending on the type of events that we do, but we would really appreciate everybody being part of our community. So with that URL in the screen, you can join our Slack channel. So thank you very much, guys. Perfect. So we're about to start now with the Flutter Study Jam, which is going to be led by Kevin. But we want to do one quick exercise. If you guys want to see this thing that we put together for you guys, let me actually share. I'm going to stop sharing, and you're going to be seeing in my screen something that I'm going to be sharing in just a minute, which is, I know that a few people are even expecting this exercise that we're going to have. So for the folks in the chat, do you mind scanning the QR code on your screen right now? What we're going to be doing is one quick community exercise on how you share your feelings for Flutter. How do you feel about being in this event?
Raman, so your screen, are you sharing now, or is it?
No, it's just my camera. Can you see my camera?
I can see your camera, but I don't see the screen, the slides you're sharing.
No, I'm not sharing the slides anymore.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
not
got
sharing
it.
the
Okay, okay,
slides. Can
got
you
it.
see the QR code on one corner?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Okay, let me try
Yeah.
doing the OBS then, because in here when you see the OBS, you should be able to see that. So let me what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drop you from presenter mode just for a second so that I
Okay.
can see my screen first. So can you see me in the screen? Just drop it in the chat if you can see me in the screen. Can you see the QR code in the corner? Yes. Okay. So what you're gonna do, I'm gonna bring you back again. It's just so that everybody can see the screen. So you're gonna yes. How can you scan? You use your phone. You're gonna open up your camera. You're gonna open up your camera. You will scan the QR code that is in the corner of the screen, and like you can see right there, you're gonna be able to go to this application that we built using Flutter and Firebase. This is just a small token of just to show you. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, exactly. Now, if you Android, use Google Lens, because then you're going to scan that. So Kevin, I'm going to drop you also as a presenter so that we can just see this screen real quick. We just
Hang on a
want
second. My computer just went down and I just reboot.
oh, that's what I'll drop you from presenter. I'll bring you back on in a minute. So I will drop you from presenter. So everybody, I want you to do the Flutter emotions. Help me break this application. So that is exactly what you're going to be seeing there. So you're going to tap on that URL that we just gave you. This is the Flutter emotions. It's an application built in Flutter and Firebase so that you can see the power of Flutter on the web using Firebase in the backend, and then you can do very engaging experiences like the ones that you're seeing right now. So if you see right there, there's someone already expressing their emotions. So tell me how you feel about Flutter right now. You can even do it like really fast, like here. Help me break it, please. Help me break it, because this is exactly what we're trying to test: how powerful Flutter is on the web in conjunction with Firebase. That is exactly what you're going to be learning today. So please stay tuned all the way till the end, where we're going to have sessions where we're going to be showing really cool stuff like this. I will be sharing even the GitHub repo, how I build this. And then you can just go like that, go to town, try to break it, please. Tap as fast as you can on that experience, and then I should be able to see everybody just showing their love. So thank you very much, everybody, for showing your love. This is exactly what we're here for. You just scan the QR code, like I said, and you just show your emotions. So this is built, again, like I said, in Flutter for the web and using Firebase, Cloud Firestore as the backend. You know that Firebase gives you real-time capabilities. It gives you a NoSQL database. It gives you that multi-regional support, and then it can support multiple thousands and concurrent users, like the way that you're doing it right now. And you see that the application is not flinching, it's just generating really cool stuff. So I truly appreciate everybody joining in this experience. Yes, thank you, Avishek. I know you love Flutter. Please, anyone else wants to join in this experience, make sure that you scan the QR code on the left corner. Then you tap on those emotions, and then you can share with us how you feel. Again, like I said, this is built with Flutter and Firebase. You can also do these type of experiences, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So thank you very much, everybody, for being part of that. Yeah, I see a lot of people doing, just blasting the Flutter button. Hey, until your finger hurts, please continue doing that. So what we're gonna do is now we're gonna transition to Kevin. Now I'm gonna bring Kevin up, into the session so that he can present his part now. So let's just bring him over now. Thank you very much again for everybody being part of this. You can continue doing that throughout the day. Again, I will keep my screen open like this so that you guys can see it. I will bring Kevin up. He will be now guiding us through our first session of the day, which is the Flutter Study Jam for Flutter. This is for more for beginners. If you haven't seen Flutter before, Kevin is gonna now kind of explain a little bit and guide you through some code study jams. Kevin. I just yeah, I went on mute because I thought Kevin was gonna come in right away. So he said that it may have that his computer may have had an issue. So while he comes back and then he starts showing again, this is live. Remember, guys, this is exactly what happens on a live show. So we truly appreciate everybody hanging in there. But again, I'm gonna share my screen then, and then you can. We're gonna be dropping. Can you hear me now, Lionel? It's all good. I'm gonna bring you back also as a host again. So let me. Okay, you're there now. Perfect. So let me. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be sharing my screen, and let me know when you guys can see this. I'm gonna stop my video, or actually I can keep that. But can you give me a thumbs up on seeing the screen? Thumbs up on the screen. Perfect. I'm going to be dropping this link on the chat so that all of you guys have access to this quest. So there are a few quests. The quest is nothing more than a series of code labs that you can complete. Paul, I'm pretty sure that you've done this because you've completed so many badges. So I'm pretty sure you've done this, but you will have fun anyway with us here. So the Flutter Study Jam is comprised of this quest. A quest is nothing more than a series of code labs that you can complete, and then you can get this badge right here, the Flutter Essentials badge. If you complete all the code labs within this, if you complete the code labs within this badge, then you get within that quest, then you get that badge, and then you can use that to put it in your LinkedIn. You can use that, as part of your kind of your credentials if you want to do that. So perfect. Drishti, thank you. Perfect. Awesome. So everybody, please copy that link. We're going to start until Kevin comes back in a minute. Then we're gonna be doing that. So please, everybody, let's go to that Flutter quest. I'm just gonna show you real quick what it is about. Perfect. And there you go. So the Flutter Essentials is again it's a series of code labs that you can complete, and then after that you're gonna get that badge. Kevin is gonna walk us through the first code lab, which is pretty simple, and then this is something that you don't even have to install anything. The same way that the workshop that we're gonna have later doesn't involve any installation at all, and then you can immediately experience learning Flutter right away without installing anything. Perfect. So Abhishek, awesome. So that you're already set up for starting the Flutter Essentials. So while Kevin joins, I think he may have dropped off. So as he comes back over, I'm going to start showing the Flutter Quick Start. So I advise everybody to complete this quest on your own. We're gonna start only with a few with the beginning 2 code labs, and then you can continue on your own, finish all the code labs, and then you're gonna get that badge. So I'm glad that we have a lot of people in here. Again, if you're coming for the first time knowing Flutter, Ruthie, you say, will this be all available as a recording later? Yes, that is exactly why we are recording it. And then we're also dropping in the chat the links to these resources. But thank you. Very good question. We're going to put it in our YouTube channel, GDG Lawrence YouTube channel, and we're going to be dropping there. But thank you. Thank you very much. But the raffle and all that is not going to be available later. So I hope that you stay throughout this session so that you can get really cool stuff and have fun with us. Great. So let's start. So is everybody in this link? I'm going to be dropping the link again for the Flutter Quest so that everybody either, if you want to grab it, if you want to follow along, that would be great. I'm going to be dropping the link again. So let's go to the Flutter Essentials Code Lab. Yes, please continue dropping the Flutter motions. I can see it right there in the little corner. If you show your emotions on how you feel about this event, you can just do it through there. So great. So let's go to the first quick start. So in the quick start right here, I'm going to click on the first item, the Flutter quick start. Perfect. So I'm going to click there. And then you see that you get like a timer, and then here you have to complete this code lab. So I'm going to scroll down, and then you can see, yeah, exactly. We can do that. So there you go. So look, so we're going to be teaching you about Flutter. So Flutter is Google's UI toolkit for building beautiful natively compiled applications for mobile, web, desktop from one single code base. In this code lab, you're going to be able to complete a very very simple application where you will see like a hello world. For those of you who've never seen Flutter before, you're going to get your a first hands experience on how to do Flutter. So I'm going to go through the code lab, just the lab real quick, so that you can see what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be writing a Flutter app that looks natively and natural for iOS, Android, and the web. You're going to learn about the basic structure of a Flutter application. Also, you're going to be finding and using packages. And also, you're going to learn about hot reload. So, and then remember, the Flutter is the framework and Dart is the programming language. You don't need to learn Dart before you start Flutter. So that is why, while you're doing, let's say you're learning Flutter, you're going to be learning Dart at the same time. So let's continue. So before you click the start button, you have to click the start button here on the top left corner. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Before you start that, remember, it gives you like an hour for you to complete it. So you need to make sure that this is actually creating some resources on the cloud, and then it's gonna create like a little bit of a sandbox for you to play with, and then that way you can build like your own application. So what do you need? You only need a browser and just need the time to complete the lab. That's all we're gonna do. So let's start. Is everybody ready? Just give me a thumbs up, whether through the Flutter motions, or you can drop your a thumbs up. There you go. I see thumbs up in the chat. I'm sorry, through the Flutter motion. So thank you. You hit thumbs up. Now we're ready. So let's start. The way that you start, you click on the green button on the Abhishek is all the way in. So thank you. Ricky, Paul, everybody, thank you so much. So now we're gonna start the code lab. How do I send the Flutter motions? Mojin, I'm gonna show you right now. So I'm actually even gonna give you the link on the chat right now. So you can go to this link right here, and then you can send Flutter motions. Let me send it to you. It's called Flutter Festival Web Client. Then you can use that link on your phone. It has to be from your phone. So you have to do it on your phone. There you go. So if you go to that URL, the web client on your phone, you can send Flutter motions throughout the duration of this event, and then we can see how you feel about this event. So we really appreciate it if you join us. So okay, let's continue. We're gonna hit Start Lab, and it's gonna do then the counter. It's gonna take an hour for us to build this this application. So let's do that. I'm gonna hit Start Lab. And then you see now it's gonna say, "Oh, I'm not a robot." So you're gonna verify that you're not a robot and all that. So you have to, do the captcha.
Hey, Roman, can you hear me?
Oh, are you good, Kevin? Now, yes, we can hear you. Kevin, we can hear you loud and clear. Yes, thank you. I see people already continue showing their emotions. That's awesome. Kevin, can you hear us? Otherwise, until you're set, we're going to continue here on our end. Okay, so I hit start, right? I need to make sure that I verify. So let me try this. I think I failed earlier. And then see, it says like, for you, you will have to say like, launch it with a credit. But for in this particular case, you should be able to, just do it. Like do the like this particular code lab. Is everybody able to start on the quick start? Just give me a thumbs up or tell me whether anybody is having any issues with that code lab. Great. Perfect. Kevin, are you ready now? Yes, Abhishek, you can start on your own. That's totally fine. Kevin, are you good? Okay, while Kevin comes back, let's continue. Sweet. Yeah, if you feel comfortable like doing it on your own and starting it, please go ahead. We're just here to support you throughout your journey. So while it is provisioning resources for me, I'm just going to scroll down and show you what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be doing this in a server, like on the Google Cloud actually. So it's going to open up a code server pretty much. Yeah, it's just that my screen is just taking a little bit to refresh. But I hope you guys can see the code server editor. And then once you is still provisioning some resources for me, it's taking a little bit. I'm pretty sure maybe because there's a bunch of people like there's a lot going on. But then what we're going to be doing is opening up a like a editor in the Google Cloud where we're going to be building this application. So I hope that everybody is here in this step where you're going to start creating a Flutter template. So you're going to be clicking the hamburger menu on the left hand side of your environment, and then open up a terminal, right? Sorry about that, guys. So look, so you say you open up a terminal, and then within the browser, you select the new terminal. So you have to open up the hamburger menu, you click on terminal, and then you do new terminal. Then you open up the terminal, because that's how you actually do it when you build like a Flutter application. Kevin, are you good? We can. I can hear you. Are you able to?
I'm back. Sorry, I have to shut my other computer went down, and then
No problem. Are you able to share your screen, or you want me to continue?
Hang on a second. I have to get the link and go back there. I'm not
sure.
ready
Let me
yet.
know when you're ready. Just let me know. Perfect.
Okay.
So I'm guiding the folks through starting with their terminal. So in this like Google Cloud sandbox, you have like a Visual Studio kind of editor, and then you can do like open the hamburger menu, click on terminal, and then new terminal. That way, then you can start creating, like you can start building your application. Yes, AS, you're saying you're receiving a message stating that the token enter is invalid. So don't enter a token. Did you have to? Yeah, okay. When you started the lab, did it ask you for the token, or did it say, for example, like let me just give me 1 second. Let me try to get folks situated with that issue. So if you're having an issue with that code lab, for those of you who may have had credits in the past, it is maybe then tapping on your credits. So let's make sure that everybody is fully set up. So again, this is exactly what we're here to give you all the resources that you need. Okay, so let's set everybody up. So let's just make sure that everybody has like all the resources that you need, that you have the right code labs, and then that you are not getting charged to buy anything, because this is supposed to be free. So let me find, I'm going to be looking for the specific code labs, and to see whether like, so that you can get the actual code labs for this. So just give me a second. Here you go. So, okay. So I see that they've provided some updated code labs. They have and you should be able to have those. Let me see. You have the Dart Essentials and Flutter Essentials. So we do have the Flutter Essentials. And then we have, and then these are the links. So the links, okay. So that was, okay. You have to actually click on this link right here. So I'm going to update it for you guys. And thank you, AS for mentioning that. So I'm going to drop this link on the chat. Everybody, please, if, for example, Abhishek says, is the membership required to complete this lab? No, this is supposed to be a free code lab that you get until May 1st. So, oh, Angel, thank you. Yeah, it says like AS, it's just that I didn't see your name. So Angel, thank you. So check this out. So the Cloud Skill Boost Google Quest 19, that one, click on that link. Let's all click on that link. I'm going to stop here where it says end lab, and then I'm going to start again. Remember, this is exactly why we're here. We want to give you all the resources that you need in order for you to be successful, and that you can complete these badges on your own. So make sure that you click on that link. Go ahead.
Roman, I'm back. So are you on the Flutter Quick Lab right now? I mean, I think that is what you got, the essential, right?
Yes. And then here we're trying to give these links that the Google team provided, so that everybody can have, like between make sure that we're just trying to make sure that everybody doesn't get asked for like a token and like don't get charged for anything, because they're supposed to get that. So I'm providing the links in the chat. Make sure that you give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. So those of you who clicked on the chat, on the link in the chat, and then you're able to like start the lab without like getting charged or getting like a token expired or token invalid or something like that. Paul, I think you have credits. I think that's why you may not be getting that. So I want to see another someone else. So see, Ricky, you say it's still being prompted to buy credits, so you're not supposed to. Do we still have to go incognito? Michael, yes, that is another point that usually you need to do. In our case, we shouldn't have, but I agree. Maybe we should go incognito and make sure that you don't waste any credits that you have. So Michael, you are correct. And Abhishek says he has 30 credits. Abhishek, you may have had some previous credits, but why don't we try also going in incognito mode, like Michael suggested. Michael, thank you for that suggestion. That's amazing. That's exactly how we also should start. And also, let's open up in incognito mode and use the link that I just dropped. I'm going to drop the link one more time. So this is for the Cloud Skill Boost. I'm going to copy the link one more time in the chat. Just going to drop it. Those of you who haven't started yet, that's totally fine. Let's all be in. Oh, Rick, awesome. Great. Thank you. Let's go in incognito mode. So this is how you go in incognito mode. So you can click File, and let's say you're on a Mac on Chrome, and this is most recommended that you use Chrome. So you click on File, New Incognito Window, like right here on the top left corner. New Incognito Window, and then it's going to look like that, like dark, like this, right? And then you paste the new link. The new link that we provided, make sure that you click that link. Ricky, thank you so much for giving me feedback. Anybody else who had not done the Cloud Skills Boost hasn't done it, but got the credits that you needed. So I'm going to, for example, like you can sign in, but usually you enroll in the quest. That is kind of like the steps that you need to do. So you enroll in the quest, you use your credentials, you use like your Google account. I'm going to be using one Google account for this. So I'm going to be using, for example, GDG Lawrence at gmail.com, for example. Like this is going to be the email that I'm going to be using, and then I'm going to join, and then you make sure that when you go in, you should have, it should work for you as far as like credits goes. See, like it says that you have 9 credits that will expire. Well, I think it's asking me maybe because of my account, but you need to make sure that whenever you do start here in the Flutter Quick Start, and then you verify using the CAPTCHA, I'm going to just select this and verify the CAPTCHA, that you get some credits available. And then you can just say launch with 1 credit, not tokens, but with credits. Can anybody else tell me that this worked for you with the new link that we provided and going into incognito mode so that we can continue with the code lab? Anybody in the chat would mind dropping a thumbs up or use the float emotions? Well, my screen, my camera is frozen over there, but that's okay. See, I got a thumbs up over here. So anyway, so yes, so please, can anybody confirm that it worked? Perfect, awesome. Okay, so Kevin, are you good to continue?
Yeah, I'm good.
Perfect. I'm gonna stop sharing.
So I'm going to just try to share my screen. Hang on a second. So I think that's the right screen. So anybody see my screen? That's the screen I'm sharing, the window that has actually had the quick lab in it. So right now already enrolled into the essential. So I haven't started anything yet. So the first one I'm gonna go to is the Flutter quick lab. So I'm gonna click on this one, and that will start. I'm gonna go ahead and start the lab. So before I start the lab, so basically this one is very basic Flutter UI application that you're building. So this is just basically and give you the idea of, the Flutter information about how you build a Flutter app. So basically, Flutter is a UI framework that you can actually build cross-platform application onto mobile devices like iOS and Android, and as well as developing application for the desktop and the web. So let's see. I'm gonna go start the lab. They said asking me again. This is launch of 1 credit. I think I have some credit. I'm gonna launch 1 credit. Okay, it's trying to kick off the lab for me. Gonna take a couple of minutes. It's estimating 4 minutes. I don't know why it's taking so long, but anyway, while we're waiting, so there's some some prerequisite that familiar with is Flutter and Dart. Dart is the language that actually we're going to be is using to build a Flutter applications. So this lab is basically go over the basic structure of a Flutter app, and then how you're using packages, using Flutter app, and then we're going to mention about the hot reload capability in the IDE, allow you to hot reload when you're making changes to the app and automatically load it dynamically. I don't know why it's taking so long. Roman, do you have an idea?
It took that long for me as well. Like it took a little bit.
Oh yeah,
just hang in there. Like I know that some of the folks have started already. We can just go through the collab and at least kind of like explain a little bit of what's going. Yeah. So for Abhishek, it took 4 minutes. For Abhishek, it took 3 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. So we're just gonna go over. So basic. I'm gonna go look into the step here. Basically, in here, what it's telling you is to open the Colab server. So in this quick lab, it actually the lab itself will actually allow you to use an IDE on the server side, and then you have a live server that's actually going to be hosting and emulating the application you're going to be showing after you creating the lab. The application. And this is the step. Create a template. So go to. So this is the IDE we're going to be seeing, and then it's just telling you open the terminal. And then you go to the step, creating a first Flutter app. So you basically this CLI is a Flutter command that you can say Flutter create first app, first underscore app, and then you go into directory, and then you say you close the window. So we're going to go to all of this once it's actually provisioning finished. So you get 1 minute finish, and then you open the folder. Basically, that's going to be open your project source code, and you will see all the source code. We're going to go in there and just, mention about what they are in the source code in the folder, and then this is how you're going to run the app, and then you can just use the live server and showing your application running in the browser. And hopefully you're going to finish soon. And this is the Flutter hot reload that you can do when you're making changes to the app. We can actually go do that and demonstrate some of the capability here. And at the end, that's pretty much at the end. It's taking longer than creating the provision the lab itself.
You know what you could do? You know what you could do? You can, I think you can open Dartpad, and then you can start doing it through there, like maybe doing some of the coding that is in there, because I think it will allow.
Yeah, and we can actually do that. so that path allow you to showing you how to run a Dart application. Basically, this is not a Flutter application, but in there you can actually create a new Dart path, and then you can specify either Flutter app or just a regular Dart application. I'm going to see if it's actually going to finish. No, it's not going to finish. So let's see. So in this case, I'm in Dart path, so I can either choose Dart or Flutter. So I'm going to choose Flutter. I click on it, nothing happened for some reason.
You have to click on create.
Great. So this is basically a skeleton application in Flutter. Basically, the framework is creating it for you in the application. Basically, the main entry point. This is the entry point of the application, and then you're gonna run your app. So my app is a class that actually extended the choose type of widgets, the stateless widgets and stateful widgets. In this case, I'm not sure that we're gonna actually go into the stateful widgets yet, but the difference between state widgets and stateful widgets is that the stateless widgets have no state in it, so whatever you put in, it's gonna render it. In the stateful widgets, when you have data, you're actually changing your data, and then that would your whenever you refresh your data, your UI would be updated automatically. Okay. I'm pretty much actually finished creating a lab, so I'm going to try follow the step. So we have gone to that. We do the setup. So the step here, I'm going to open the code server editor. So I'm going to go to that. I'm going to open another tab and put it in. Okay, browser, just do a lighting. Is it okay on the screen? The lighting is hard to look better. Okay, I'm going to go to the second step. Now create a Flutter template. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the hamburger button and then open a terminal browser. So hamburger button, terminal, new terminal. And we're going to copy this Flutter create first app. And then we're going to hit return. It's basically here is the CLI command is generating an app for us. So all the source code and everything is generated. And then we have to go to change directly to the app folder. That's what it's asked us to do. And then it said close the terminal. 1 minute. Okay, close the terminal. Oops. The exit. And then you can say open folder, file, open folder. Okay. And then we have to go to this link, this path to open the folder. That's the folder that we just have the application generated. Okay. And now the folder is open, and then you have all the source code within it. I think the key one that we want to look at is couple of things. So they're saying that they're looking at the pubspec.yaml file. So this file basically set up your application dependency, the version they're using, and this is the Flutter dependency, the SDK, and then Cupertino is the material design style that all the different icon or you can use from it. and then there's the Flutter lens and some of the other dependency. Right now, we have is by default it's turned under the material design for you. And so now we're going to have to open the terminal again, and we're going to run and we're going to run and set up the first app. So we're going to do that. So I'll go back to open terminal. So it's waiting for the connection to the debug device in the web server. It's for trying to connect to the web server. So we have to go copy this live server link for the web browser link. And I'm going to open another page, tab. It's taking a bit of time to getting there.
Sure. While that's going on, just wanted to remind everybody to get into the raffle. I pinned the link at the top of the chat if you guys want to do that. So while during the execution of this session of this event, please make sure to get into the raffle so that then you can have a chance to win some of the raffle items. Thank you, guys.
Wow, it's taking some.
Yeah, I think though.
I hope it's not.
Google Cloud is a little bit busy today. I mean, and there's a bunch of other Flutter festivals going on, so I'm pretty sure that's that's kind of like one reason. But yeah,
Paul said I have to refresh the screen twice.
yeah, Paul. There you. So anybody else? Has anybody gone ahead and completed on their own? Or at least
Let me try to refresh again. I don't know if that's going to work, but
I mean, try it. I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
There you go. So yeah, all of a sudden it came out. So this is the very simple app, and you click. I mean, this is basic starter app. You click the plus button. It's just going to increment it, right? And so that's it. So hot reload. So we're going to go try the hot reloads in this section. So we're going to go to the editor. We're going to edit the main.dat file. Main.dat file, which is in here. And we're going to look for the class, my app. And then we're going to change the title of the app. So apply this. And we said to hot reload to start when press R or R. Say R. Oops.
Yeah, make sure that you're in the terminal so that.
Yeah, no, I'm in the wrong window.
Yeah, I know. I usually do like that, and then I get like bugs.
Yeah, they didn't change anything yet.
Well, unfortunately, here you have to do like I think you probably have to like reload over there. You have to wait until it.
I know they have to
It takes
have to refresh again.
Yeah, but wait until it builds because it takes a little bit to build, and then when you refresh it, you should be there. Because again, remember, you're doing this on a server, like not like having.
Yeah, it definitely is a very different experience with local VS Code. Apparently,
you know what you can do? The way that I did it, also, I divided my screen into two. Because you don't want to show the rest of the screen. But if you, for example, some of you out there, they can open two tabs and put them side by side. You will see the other one refresh.
It doesn't refresh for some reason. Mine doesn't refresh. It just have reloaded again. Actually, it doesn't refresh on the other side.
Go back. Yeah. It's like probably not sticking. but it's not that.
Yeah, it didn't change. It didn't follow demo home. It didn't change.
Try doing it again. Like try if you can launch the whole
Maybe I don't know. I'm trying to save it.
It may have detached also, like from this connection, probably.
I'm gonna close it. I'm gonna try to reload.
That's what I said. Like it may have detached, and that's why because you got to do the second link. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think the local dev environment is much more responsive. You know, you can do everything locally, but this is actually my first time trying this on the server side. It doesn't look like it's refreshing.
Yeah, it's because of remember, like the resources that are getting created, and that is see, like everybody here, like in the chat, we're getting positive responses from that. Remember, Flutter is not like this, so it's just because of the server. So we just wanted to let everybody know. And so make sure that at least you can open like another tab, and then it should refresh. In this particular case, maybe the sandbox that Kevin got allocated may be a little faulty at the moment. But other than that, even when you try it like through Dartpad, like it should work. Exactly.
Yeah, it didn't work. So I mean, we can actually try this. Is there any way I can copy this whole thing?
Yes, you can. You can do that. Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
Run this from here.
Yep, that's right. Make sure that at the top you have the proper installations, like the libraries and whatnot.
Yeah, I did, maybe I didn't make the right changes. That's why. Oh, I didn't. No, my homepage is this.
Yeah, that's fine.
This should be here.
You can continue here. Like at least people know that they have other options on how to like do Flutter on not on their development environments, but even in Dartpad. So Kevin now is gonna show like how to do like a simple change and then just like reloading.
That changes. So I think I made a mistake. It's changing the title. I didn't change it. This is actually where it's supposed to change.
And remember, that is the title of the page. So make sure that if it shows, then it will be there.
Control R. Sorry, that was my mistake. I changed it in one place. Yeah, there you go. So save the editor and just save the change. So we got to that, and we did the reload, and voila, this is Control R. That's what we did last. So I think we kind of finished this. Check my progress. Okay, we're done. All right. I think we're done with this one. I mean, there's another one. I don't know if we have time for another one.
We do have a little bit to continue on the next one. At least let's start it up so that people know what they will be expecting. Those of you who already finished, you can continue on the next one. We're gonna be doing this the next collab until 11:20. So we're gonna be until that. Then we start the trivia session. But at least those of you who have completed, you can go ahead and complete the next code lab. Kevin is just gonna walk you through the next one as much as we can complete until 11:20. So please go ahead, guys, and keep rolling because you guys are doing pretty good.
So this one, they're building a 2-screen Flutter application. This consists of a screen with a list, and then you go to the next screen. We click on one of those list items, it will display the detailed screen for you. So that's what this application is going to do. So let's see. I'm going to start the lab right now. Take another credit again, but I'm going to close this one. Close that. It's going to take another.
That's how it is.
Create it again.
While it is provisioning the server, just wanted to acknowledge, we have some Android royalty in the house. Elizabeth from GDG Boston Android has made an appearance. So thank you so much. Her whole community, she has invited her community. So welcome GDG Boston Android, also GDG Capital Region. These are the partnering GDGs that have made this possible. So thank you everybody for joining. And don't forget at the top of the chat, we've already pinned the link to the raffle. We're going to be raffling Flutter swag. We're going to be raffling Amazon gift cards. So make sure to fill out the raffle at the top. And if you guys have any questions or just want to, again, show your love for us, make sure to, keep dropping those Flutter flood emotions and showing your support in the chat. Thank you very much, everybody.
So this application, so we're going to go follow through the step again. Basically, we're going to first create an app, and then using the Flutter CLI, and then we're going to go to the folder itself, and then close the window, terminal. But then we're going to open the app, and then in there, we get that basically once create an app, it create the same the Flutter demo app, the basic app. Again, this is the basic accounting app that is by default created for you. So the design is that we are going to create a two-screen app. The first screen contains, like I mentioned earlier, consists of a list item, and there's a title bar, and then you're going to transition from the list item to the detail screen on the right-hand side. So we're going to display detail of the January screen item. So we mentioned, so the widget is going to have the app bar on top here, and then we have a scaffold. The scaffold allows you to create the actually content of the screen, and then the text entry, and then the list view items. So all of these items are widgets. So in Flutter, everything is widget basically. So they start from a basic widgets, and you build a widget tree. As soon as you build all your widget together, and then your application will render it. So let's see. And then this section basically kind of working with the list view. We're adding list item into the list view. So then, and we can here, what does it say? Replacing a template code and just adding the changing the list item in here. And then after you finish that, changing that, you're going to display your list on your main screen. And then we're going to create a list view item data for the next step. And then from that next step, then we're gonna run the app, and then we're gonna go to the detail screen. There's some interactivity that we're gonna have to go to. Once it got done, and then we can populate the detail screen page next. So this is a detail page. So this is also a stateless widget that we're going to be building. So every widget, there's the main method that you're going to be using. Every widget that we have the build function basically is the method that's building all the UI for you. So in this case, it's going to return the scaffold, and then with the app bar and the title bar and the text content in there. So now it's finished. Let me go back to the beginning. We're gonna try to create an app again. Copy this. Okay. You open the terminal. And then we're going to go create an app. Copy and paste isn't quite there. Copy. There you go. And again, CLI Flutter command is generating an app for us. Now it's finished. And then we have to go to that folder. This instruction here, I don't know why they asked us to close the window. Then we're going to open the source code window. And oh. I think the first app, there you go. All right, now we have the source code open. I'm going to open the source file for the main.dat again. So I'm going to open another terminal. We'll just say forward. Have to run it, and then we're going to open the server this time again. Oh, come on. So it's going to take its time again. Okay, it should be connected, so that it should be displaying by now. I think the workflow in here a little bit slow because we are connecting to the server.
I was gonna say while that goes on, can you do a copy paste into Dartpad to see if that shows up as well, like before?
Yeah, so this is basically showing the same demo application before. We haven't made any changes yet.
Oh, I see. Got it.
That is taking this time.
Taking its sweet time.
I know.
Rely on Dartpad also.
Yes. So we went to this. So you can actually, I mean, the Flutter documentation is really good. So I mean, you can go to Flutter dev. Learn. And so this page had a lot of information that you can actually follow to and travel the doc path, and then the Flutter doc. So this doc. So the way that I personally learned this is going to the documentation, learn about the different widgets. There's also a video. I mean, YouTube video. There's a Flutter of the it's a Flutter of the day. Every day they actually introducing different widgets. You go and watch those, and those are very helpful. Oh my God, it's still not. I'm gonna refresh again.
I told you gotta use the Dartpad. I'm telling you gotta.
I know this is.
I mean, I love the code labs, but sometimes because you have to do like the two, like open it in one tab and then the other one.
Well, now you finally
took its sweet time, yeah.
Yeah, taking the sweet time to get there. So now they're saying that begin by replacing a template code in the main.dot with the code below. So we're going to basically copy it. So what are we going to be replacing? What are we going to be replacing is this class call class my app, extend the status widgets, and then we're going to make sure we replacing the correct stuff. That is, I'm trying to. Oh, maybe I put it in the wrong place.
Yeah, you got to do the whole thing.
Yep. Yeah, I gotta copy the whole thing.
Yeah, you have to replace the whole thing. Like do a select all and then just drop the whole thing.
I did the whole thing. I didn't. Let me try to see. Yeah, that's. Save the code, and then I did that. Okay. It's not refreshing again. Okay. It didn't look like it making any changes.
Yeah, do remember there are the three types of hot reload. Is the R, which is a hot reload, then full reload, which is Shift R. Try Shift R to see if it gives you. Also, for the folks out there who are starting it, you may be getting a better luck than Kevin, because I think maybe the server where he got allocated is either a little bit slow or something like that on responding. So just refresh the whole thing exactly.
There you go. Actually, now refresh it. Okay. How are we making on time? Are we continuing?
Yeah, please continue. We're gonna go all the way to 11:25.
Okay. So right now we have the list actually displayed. So you're going to go back to the app. So it displays January, February, March. So basically, that's the list we create in list view. We have children. We have 3 items in here. These are all the 3 items, and of course we'll have the scaffold widgets that allow us to create the app bar, and then the body of the app, the scaffold. We put the list view in there. Basically, if you look at the application, so this is the top is the app bar, and that is the body of the application. So this is talk about managing the list view data. So adding user interaction to respond when a list item is selected. So said previously, we have looked at using a small amount of data being added to the list view. Working with large volume of data can be challenging. To help with this situation, consider the list view dot builder. So we're gonna look at the list view dot builder. So we're gonna declare a list item. So we're gonna copy that. We have to put it somewhere, I guess. After way above here. And then we're going to use the list view builder. So we're going to change that. So instead of listing in the list view here, we're going to replace with that what we just copy. I think this is all the way here. This editor is not. And basically, this code, what its code does is basically it iterate through the item and then return this title in the bill. You may have an extra stuff in there. Let me see.
Yeah, remove the extra body property in line 16.
Yep. Thank you. Copy that. And Let's view. Yep. I'm going to see you can run it. Ship. Ah, error. 26. I think I can make a mistake in copying Papa body. Couple.
Yeah, and then I think you have then after the material app, then you have to remember do like a semicolon and then end that. I think may have an extra one. Yeah, so.
I'm missing something here.
But after the material app, you see like the yeah, and then when you end that, that should be like the return, because you're within the build, so the material app should be like the last parentheses and then with a semicolon, because it's a return.
It looks like that's it. The material I'm here. Comes scalpel. I got the scalpel and the material. Right there, material. And I think I have extra stuff here.
Yeah. So if you want, try to see if you can copy it again, but you have to replace like the whole thing. Or unless anybody in the chat can anybody spot what the issue that Kevin is having? Because otherwise you can just grab the whole body. You see just the body, because I think you may have replaced something else with it, and then make sure that why don't you remove the whole body exactly, and you just close it at the scaffold and then the material app, just like that. You need to have only two closing parentheses after the body. Yeah, exactly. If you remove that, oh, you paste it again? Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to paste it again. It's
yeah. So yeah, because when inside the list view builder, that is what generates the list. What we're doing is iterating through the whole thing, and then when you close the body, you close the you close the scaffold, then you close the material app. You see that's the scaffold, and then you close the material app. And then the material app at the end, you have to put a semicolon because you're ending the statement.
Yeah, that's ending this item. This item.
Yeah, that's a scaffold, and then inside of the scaffold, the material app is the one that wraps it exactly.
That's a scaffold.
Mm-hmm.
And no, then that's the builder
for the material app. Yeah.
And material app.
Yeah, and then see that is the scaffold. Then that is the material app, and then at the end you put a semicolon, not a comma.
There you go. Thank you.
Now let's see how long it takes to build, because this server is like a little bit slow.
I don't know. It looked like it's finishing.
You know what? You wouldn't see any changes. That is the thing. It will be exactly the same way, so you won't see any changes.
Yeah, it will be exactly the same because we're rendering.
So let's assume it is working because it's the same thing.
Yep, it's the same thing. So basically, now we have to replace my app class with the code below. So my app class. So what is it doing? It's actually. So we have the item in here. So they put the item inside of class. So maybe I put the item outside of the class. So just want to.
It still works, but you can move it inside, which is like a better, like a more, yeah, exactly, like a best practice.
But that encapsulation, I didn't, and then it said replace the app class with the code below. App class. Basically, they're telling me to replace everything again. Okay, we'll try that. That's just look like exactly the same thing. All right. So let me see if you can compile it.
And Michael said that he lost the terminal window. I think the way to bring the terminal window in this environment is by going to the hamburger menu on the left, then saying terminal,
Yep.
new terminal. Or I don't know if the command tilde works like here as well. But try that.
So Control R, refresh the page again. They're doing the same
It says
things.
that
Okay.
support is already in use, so it's kind of like it went away, and then you want to bring it back. Try instead of opening a new terminal, try to see if you can open the existing terminal by doing the control. The key next to the one in the keyboard, like the tilde. You do control that, and then see if that works. And Abhishek, congrats! Oh, he completed all the. He's only have one code lab remaining, so you're gonna go. That's awesome, man. You
Yeah, you go very fast.
yeah,
Yep.
that's really good, man. Really good.
Okay, so we're adding the interactivity in this case in this section. So add user interaction to respond when the list is clicked, and then add the interactivity in Flutter typically require a gesture detector. The type of gesture to capture a call and a tap. So basically tapping on the item. So what we're going to do is add this tap on tap, and then it's going to be say final snack bar. We create a snack bar and then display the item. So I guess this is on the list item itself. When we're supposed to add this. So let's view this item. So I think I'm going to add it here. Something's not right.
I think that on tab has to be part of the list style. So
Yeah.
move it. Yeah.
Yeah, I put it in the wrong place.
Exactly. Just move it up. Yeah, and Kevin is gonna wrap this piece up, and then after that, we're gonna proceed with the next event. But again, those of you who have completed it, congrats to you guys. You got your badge, and that's amazing. You can use it, to continue building your portfolio of badges. Paul can tell you what it feels to have like the most badges in the world. So it's amazing to use those as kind of like part of your credentials, showing it off on LinkedIn and doing a bunch in kind of like building your portfolio with that. So congrats to you guys for completing. And again, if you didn't, that's totally fine. You can continue that on your own. So Kevin is gonna wrap this piece up, and then we're gonna take it to the next session. So go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, okay, I think I'm done. I'm having trouble with getting this thing, but
so you have to move the on tap inside of the list tile. You see where it says title,
yeah.
title. You move that inside of the list tile. Because remember, the list tile needs to be tappable, so it has to be part of not the list view, but the list tile in line 20. Because the list tile has a title, and then that tile needs to be tappable, so you have to add it inside of that guy. Yeah. There you go, and then just make sure that that's pretty much it. Over 50, Paul, he has over 50 badges. Oh my God. We probably have like to scroll through all those badges. I think I have like 15, and I'm like, man, I overdid myself with Flutter, with Google Cloud badges. So congrats to you, Paul. Keep it up, because there are more. So yeah, that's awesome. So Kevin is going to show now the interactivity, how when you tap on a tile, you should be getting like a snack bar. A snack bar is like one of those little components available in the material library to show like a little bit of a tooltip, like a little like a message shown.
It didn't refresh some reason.
That's fine. Try tapping and let's see what it does. Because remember, you should be seeing the same thing.
Yeah, I'm not doing. It's not doing
so
anything.
it's not doing it. Okay, perfect. Try one more time before we wrap up. Yeah. So is building okay? Perfect, and then try just reloading the whole thing.
I mean, it looks like you built it. So
Yeah, it looks like like it did it, and then it's supposed to show a snack bar. So a snack bar again is just that little like a tooltip that shows. So keep looking at the bottom of the screen when you tap on it. I think on web it should
yeah,
be.
I think, and my experience with this is that I think this is much more not intuitive to follow. I think the local development environment to get used to with that is respond so quickly. You can't see immediate feedback, but right now here it takes a long time to get the feedback.
I think that's the price of you getting a badge then, because it shouldn't be easy then. Yeah, otherwise then it would have been.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
But tap on one of the
Because
rows.
I'm
Tap on one of the rows again.
yeah, there you go.
That's what I said. Look
Yeah,
at the
finally did it.
There you go. So that is the snack bar. It just shows for web,
Yep.
shows like a bar at the bottom.
Okay. And so that I think we are on way out of time, right?
Yes, we are. So so again, I just wanted to reiterate to those of you who started, or if you haven't started, you can continue wrapping up on this quest, and you get the badge. Please also try to take a look at the other Flutter quests that are available in Cloud Boost Skills, because they're available for free until May 1st. So make sure that you can complete all those badges on your own. So thank you, Kevin, for walking us through this code lab. I hope that those of you again feel motivated to also continue like exploring Flutter. You can use again Darpad even when you're doing these kind of things, but it's pretty cool to like get badges, learn about Flutter in a type of environment like this. Great, thank you so much, Kevin. So let's now.
Thank you.
I'm going to share my screen one more time, just so that I can show you. So here we go. And I hope that you guys are looking at my screen. Okay, so while we start with the next session, I want to see a little bit more of the flood emotions just showing up. Please tap on those flood emotions if you haven't done so. Scan the QR code on the left hand side, and then we will see some of those emotions showing through. So thank you very much, everybody, for participating. I hope you guys are having fun in this event. Now, after the that warm up, doing the clutter, the code labs from Quick Labs, now we're ready to do our trivia session. So that is also, I know, be very expected and waited for people. So let me put the screen up so that you guys can see that. So I hope everybody, like I said, I hope everybody's having fun. You like the you're liking this the flood emotions and whatnot. So let's try to do that. Just give me a second. Can anybody still see my screen? Hello? Can anybody see my? Can you guys see my screen? I think I just had a minor hiccup right over here. So let me start again.
I think you're showing your Flutter demo app.
Yes. Let me. Yeah, I meant to share my camera, and then I'm going to stop sharing because I want to show now the other screen. So just give me a second. Can you guys see now the agenda?
Yeah.
Great. Perfect. So now, I see a lot of the emotions coming through. That's awesome, guys. Keep it up. Now, let me show you the agenda. So now the next thing that we have for you guys is the trivia session. Let me just share the screen so that you guys can see it fully. And then let me know if you guys can see it. Still loading. Okay. So now we're going to go to the Flutter trivia session. It's going to be led by Lionel. And then I just wanted to remind you of the raffle items. Make sure that you fill out the form up top, and then that you put your name and your email, because that's how we're going to be sending you the Amazon gift card. So if you haven't done so, please scan the QR code on the screen, or click on the link that we've pinned at the top. Also, just a reminder, we will be raffling 5 Flutter swag vouchers, where you're going to get like a plush toy. You're also going to get stickers and whatnot. So that is awesome. Now for the Flutter trivia. So let me tell you exactly again how the Flutter trivia is going to work. So we're going to give you 20 random questions, 20 questions in Flutter. It doesn't have to be like precisely in Flutter, but it's just so that, to get your juices flowing, your creative juices flowing. So the person who answers most of the 20 questions that we're going to give you, the top person, you're going to get a $25 Amazon gift card plus a Flutter swag voucher that you can redeem for either a plush toy and stickers. And then the second and the third place are going to get just the Flutter swag vouchers. So is everybody ready to start with the, okay, so Abhishek, yeah, can you hear me now? Perfect. If you didn't hear me, now Lionel is gonna do it. I'm gonna stop sharing, and Lionel is gonna share his screen. Let me show my camera so that you guys can still see me. Let me know if you guys can. Still not coming up, so that's okay. But Lionel, can you share your screen now? Oh yes, so I have to I have to add Lionel again as a presenter. So let me know if now your presenter mode is on. I'm gonna have to hit it. Are you good, Lionel, now? Okay, so it's taking him a little bit to show the presenter mode for Lionel. Again, we're going to be holding now the Flutter trivia. So Lionel, are you good now to share? Otherwise, I can pull up again because for some reason I'm bringing you presenter mode on, but for some reason it's not coming up for you. Kevin, can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? I just wanted to confirm that.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so Lionel, for some reason I am. It's like you're not accepting it on the other end. Just Kevin and I are hosts and presenters, and then you keep like flicking back and forth somehow. I don't know. I think it may be on your end. Okay. That's totally fine. Okay, so if you're not able to do that, yeah, it's doing that. But for some reason, let me just do it one more time, and then after that, if not, I can do it on my end. That's totally fine. So now I added you. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm gonna let you now accept it. Okay, so I see. Okay, so it's gonna take a little bit for you. So let me continue sharing. So now, can you guys see my screen again?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Perfect. Awesome. So now I think we're going to get back on things. So now, like I mentioned, the Flutter trivia is about just Flutter. It's like random questions about Flutter. It should be really fun, should be really cool. So let's do that so that I can show you now what it is about. So I'm going to be sharing my screen one more time. I'm going to escape out of this, and I'm going to launch the Flutter trivia. Like I mentioned, this is supposed to be a random questions about Flutter. Nothing like this is something that you don't need to be like an expert in Flutter or anything. So let me show you how to how it works. So let me just open it up. I'm gonna bring it up over here on the screen, and I am also going to let me just show you in a minute. Here we go. Can you guys see my screen still?
Yep, I can see your
Perfect.
screen.
So I'm going to put this up over here like this. I'll have to take it all the way to the beginning. So please join this quiz. So it's going to be like an interactive session. You're going to join the quiz at slido.com with the code 900887. So join this session so that you can win the $25 Amazon gift card and the Flutter swag voucher. So I'm gonna put a little game show music in the background so you guys can see it. So let me know. I'm gonna wait for a little bit for people to join. Remember, the prizes are the top person who gets the most questions answered is 20 questions. You're gonna get a $25 Amazon gift card plus a Flutter swag toy and stickers. And the second and the third only get the Flutter swag, which is the plush toy and the stickers. So I'm gonna wait just for a few more people to join. I promise it's gonna be fun, and of course you're gonna love the questions and you're gonna love the swag that we're gonna be sharing. And let me know if you guys okay. So got it. So I'm just gonna be waiting for a little bit. That's totally fine. It should be just a few people. This is supposed to be again optional. It's not like it's just if you wanna get a $25 gift card and you wanna get a plush toy, that's totally fine. So I'm just gonna wait just a little bit for people to join. Cool. So we have a few people already. So let's start with that. Okay, I see more people joining. Okay, I'm gonna give you just a minute. Perfect. Okay, so I think we have about enough people. You can still join even as we go, but you need to make sure that then you answer all the questions. The thing is that the questions get blocked off if you don't join on time. So just 30 more seconds to let people join the quiz, the Flutter trivia. Going once, going twice. That's totally fine. Let's start. Let's start with the Flutter trivia questions. I hope everybody, I wish luck to everyone. So let's start. Okay, first question. 30 seconds in the clock. Which of the following car manufacturers is in partnership with Google to bring Fuchsia to its in-car infotainment system? Fuchsia is the next generation of operating systems that is going to be like ubiquitous. It's going to be loaded everywhere, on cars, on phones, on computers, on home devices. So which of these following car manufacturers is in partnership with Google to bring Fuchsia to the in-car infotainment system? Is it Toyota, BMW, or Mercedes-Benz? Which one of the three? So I see a lot of people doing Toyota, BMW, or Mercedes. The right answer is Toyota. Good job, guys. Those of you who answered, you don't know yet. At the end, we're going to see who actually got all those answers. Question number 2. Which one of the following car manufacturers currently has a Flutter app for its electric car user experience? Is it Tesla, BMW, or Nissan? So one of these three electric car manufacturers actually has a Flutter app for the electric car user experience. Imagine you can turn on your car, check the lights, check the charging status. Which of the three electric car manufacturers actually has that application? Some people say Tesla, some people say BMW or Nissan, like the Leaf or the Tesla or BMW. Let's see which one is it. It was BMW. So BMW has an electric vehicle and they have a Flutter app. You actually can go to flutter.dev. You could go to the website and see that is BMW. So the questions are there, guys. You didn't do your homework anyway. Question number 3. Which company with a lighting division, like lights, right, has a Flutter app to manage the ambience lightings with a cool and intuitive UI? Is it General Electric, Schneider Electric, or Philips? Which of these three companies has a Flutter app that they use to change like the lights, like the color of the lights, of the light bulbs and whatnot, that is developed in Flutter. So which of these three companies has that application? Some people are saying Philips, General Electric, or Schneider Electric, and the correct answer is Philips. Yes, I work at Philips. The Philips Hue has a Flutter application, believe it or not. If you didn't know, the Philips Hue application is actually developed in Flutter. Question number 4. Talk about dog fooding. Which internal Google application or many applications were developed in Flutter? You have to pick 3 in order to get it right. So is it Google Pay, Google Stadia, Google Maps, Google Ads, or Google Drive? You have to pick 3. You pick 3 and you get it correct. So which one of these? And again, I say dog fooding because Google developed Flutter. Well, they must use it. It's for their internal apps. So which 3 people say? Okay, so I see, people are split in their decision. Now the correct answer actually is Google Pay, Stadia, and Ads. Google Maps was not developed in Flutter, not Google Drive, but those 3. Great. Let's keep moving on. Question number 5. The name of the mascot for the Dart language and the Flutter framework is called, what is this guy called? Is it called Birdie? Is it called Dash? Or Dovey? I don't know why I came up with that name. But yes, what is it called? Which one is called? You have to answer it. Is it Birdie? Yeah. Is it Birdie, Dash, or Dovey? You have to don't say it. You have to answer it. You have to answer it. Don't say it, Abhishek. Yes, okay. See, I gave it to you guys. See, don't say I didn't give you free ones. So yes, it's Dash. Now, what animal is Dart? What animal is this little plush toy? Is it a cardinal, a blue jay, or a hummingbird? So, what animal is Dart? Like this animal, this toy, what animal is it? Is it a cardinal? Is it a blue jay? Or is it a hummingbird? What type of animal is it? You have to guess. Yeah, I give it away. Oh, let's see. No, I don't think you can tell from this, but anyway, people say blue jay or a hummingbird. The correct answer is it's a hummingbird. It's because it's a hummingbird. Okay. Next, question number 7. Why did the Dart team then pick a hummingbird? You see, like the questions kind of like depend on one another, but you have to get it right for the next one. So why did the Dart team pick a hummingbird? Why do you think they picked the hummingbird as the animal? Is it because hummingbird presents that Dart is a speedy language? It represents that it's a speedy language, like a hummingbird? Or is it because it was the initial code name of the Dart project? Or the guy who invented Dart saw like a hummingbird in its window outside? It's kind of like Java, like the guy who called, yeah, okay, so people are saying it's because it's a speedy language or the initial code name of the Dart. It's because the Dart, is a hummingbird, and hummingbird, they're like very fast. So that is the cool thing about Flutter. It's a very fast, very performant framework. Of course, in conjunction with Dart as the language. So it's pretty cool. So that is the answer right there. I hope you guys got it right. Question number 8. Which of the following widgets provide margin for the widget they enclose? Now you can guess it, or you can try, but now you kind of have to know a little bit of Flutter, but it's okay. Just try to take a guess. Which of the following widgets provides margin for the widget that they enclose? So let's say you have a widget, you add one of these 3 widgets, and it adds margin to it. Is it the constrained widget, container widget, or margin widget? Which one? Just try to take a guess. You think I'm gonna give it easy to you? And you guys got it right. Is the container widget. Yeah, I put margin. Margin doesn't exist. There's no margin widget, but there is a container widget. Good job, guys. Good job. Next one. Dart is a single-threaded or multi-threaded language. Is it single-threaded or multi-threaded? Because for example, like JavaScript is single-threaded. Java is multi-threaded. Other languages like that are multi-threaded. But what is Dart? Is it single-threaded or is it multi-threaded? You can do like parallelism. You can create multiple, execute multiple processes at the same time, or you only have one single event loop or one single thread. What is the answer? Some people are saying, oh, it's split 50-50. And the answer is single-threaded. Dart is single-threaded. And in order for you to spin up like another thread, you have to create something called like an isolate, which is kind of like a separate process. But more on that later. But we're here to have fun. Let's continue. What is the most important method of a Flutter app? This might be a trick question, but think about it. What is the most important method of a Flutter app? Is it the build method? Is it the run app method? Or is it the main method? What's the most important method on a Flutter app? Don't get confused. Just think about what is the most important method of the app as a whole. So what is it? The build method, the run app method, or the main method? Let's see what people answer. People are saying the main method, run app, and a few say the build. The right answer is the main method. The main method is the most important method in the app as a whole. And because it's the one that bootstraps the application. You see like void main, that's the main method. It's the most important method in the app. Now that we said what's the most important method on the app, what is the most important method in a widget? Now we're, Kevin explained a little bit of what like stateful widgets and stateless widgets. What is the most important method on the widget itself? Now you're macroing and you're zooming into the widget. Inside of the widget, which is the most important method? Is it the constructor? Is it the build method? Or is it the init state method? So which is the most important method in a Flutter widget? Just try to take a guess. Which one is it? Some people are saying the build, some people are saying the init, and the constructor. The right answer is the build method. Init state only exists in stateful widgets, not on stateless widgets. The build method then is given by the is overwritten for every widget, and then that is where what the Flutter framework uses to paint your widgets. You build all your structures within the build method, and the constructor is important, but it's not as important as the build method because it's what makes Flutter build your UIs. Question number 12. The 3 trees that the Flutter framework uses to support its fluid UI rendering strategy are widget, element, and render trees, material, Cupertino or core, or root, primary, or secondary. So Flutter depends on 3 trees to build the UI, and then it builds accordingly, and that's how it maintains those 3 like hierarchies to make it efficient and try to avoid doing like unnecessary rebuilds. So which of the 3 trees are supported by Flutter? So widget elements, so most of the people said the widget, element, and render, and the correct answer is yes. Flutter has 3 trees: the widget tree, the element tree, and the render tree. The widget tree just contains all the widgets. The element is the glue between the widget and the render tree. And then the render tree is then the one that contains all the reference to the components that then get rendered. It handles like sizing, positioning, painting, and rebuilding, and all of that. So that is why those 3 trees are important. Question number 13. Flutter is the language while Dart is the framework. True or false? Some people get confused. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm just going to ask, what is it? Is Flutter the language while Dart is the framework, or the other way around? True or false for this one? Flutter is the language while Dart is the framework. Just think about it. We've already said it throughout this session. Just wanted to see whether people were paying attention. And time's up. What do people answer? People are saying false, and that is correct. Flutter is the framework. Dart is the programming language. You're typing Dart while you're doing Flutter. Flutter is the whole SDK, the whole toolkit but Flutter was built in Dart. So that's why Flutter is the framework while Dart is the language. So it's the opposite. Question 14. What year was Flutter released? 2016, 2017, or 2018? What year was Flutter released? Just think about that. Think about when it was released. Which year was it? Some people think like, okay, is Flutter like an old language or is it a fairly new language? It's fairly new. If you even among these 3 years, it's not like some other languages, but or frameworks in this particular case. So what year was Flutter released? People are split throughout the decisions, and the correct answer is 2017. That is the year when Flutter was released. Dart is a little bit older, but the Flutter framework on its own was released in 2017. Thank you very much, guys, for participating. Let's continue. Another one, this is a simple one. So, which popular e-commerce site developed a mobile app as a companion app to its website? Now you have to pick two to get it right. Is it Amazon, eBay, Alibaba, and Groupon? Which of these, out of those four, two of those build applications in Flutter as a companion app to their website? Guess which are the two? Guess which two of these sites did it? So some people are splitting their decisions, and the two correct answers are Alibaba and Groupon. So if you go right now on Alibaba or you download it, that was developed in Flutter. When you go to the Groupon application, that was also developed in Flutter. So hey, talk about big players, including even like BMW and those companies like that, building applications in Flutter. So let's continue. We're almost done. Question 16. Which popular Broadway show created a mobile app in Flutter so its fans could interact with and gain access to the musical they love? So which Broadway show? Was it The Lion King, Cats, or Hamilton? One of these three Broadway shows build a Flutter application where people can like look at their, the schedules. I think they can buy tickets through there. I can't tell you. I haven't downloaded it myself, but they build a Flutter application. So which one? Which one do you guys say? People say Hamilton, and the right answer is yes, Hamilton. So yes, if you check, the Hamilton Broadway show developed an application in Flutter. Next one. Now that you know that it was Hamilton, how long did it take to develop the Hamilton Flutter application for both iOS and Android? Not just one, but two. Can you believe that? So now with one single code base in Dart, you can, and using the Flutter framework, you can target more than one platform. In this case, how long did it take the Hamilton Flutter app team to develop two applications? How long? Just guess. Take a guess. 1 year, 6 months, or 3 months? How long did it take them to build it? Some people are saying 6 months, some people say 3 months, and the answer is 3 months. Yes, 3 short little months it took them to build that application. Can you believe that? And then you say like, oh, why is Flutter not ready for production? It is. And we are small developers. Why aren't we embracing more Flutter to build really cool quality applications? This is the reason. Let's continue. The next question 18. The famous AR game Pokemon Go. What backend service did it start on to handle millions of concurrent threads and reads and writes? So now this is more a little bit beyond Flutter, but more within the Google realm. So just take a guess. Is it Cloud Spanner, Cloud Data Store, or Cloud SQL? We're going to be using one of these three later, but like in a more simpler way. But we're going to be doing one workshop today around one of these three, and you're going to be learning. So people are saying Cloud Spanner, Cloud Data Store, or Cloud SQL, like to store all that information about people just doing like Pokemon Go. So the answer is Cloud Data Store. Cloud Data Store is that like it's a NoSQL database that is very fully managed, lives in the cloud, and it can like process like multiple thousands of requests and does like a bunch of writes. Cloud Spanner is more like column based, but Cloud Data Store, you started on Cloud Data Store, then they migrated to Cloud Spanner. So you see, Pokemon Go is also using the Google Cloud. So talk about that. We're almost over. Question 19. Which recent app has gone viral for its simplicity and addictiveness? Which one of these three mobile apps has gone viral for that simplicity and addictiveness? Is it TikTok, Is it Fortnite? Or is it Wordle? So which one of the three? Just take a guess. Just take a guess. Which one of these three apps has gone viral for the simplicity and addictiveness? Is it TikTok, Fortnite, or Wordle? Just try to guess. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I think I gave this one also. Yeah, I think that was a free one. Yes, and then the answer is Wordle. Yes, Wordle. The guy built it. He got like $1 million from the New York Times. And I don't know, is he a developer or he just like like he just said, oh, let me just do something fun. But I haven't followed up on his story. But hey, he's a millionaire right now. Yes, that's awesome. Great. And the last question now. Last question in this trivia. So what was Flutter's major announcement at their latest Flutter release, Flutter 2.10? Was it Flutter support for Windows, Flutter support for the metaverse, or I'm just tricking you, there was no release? So which was the Flutter's major announcement at this? It was a few weeks ago. So was it their support for Windows, support for the metaverse, like virtual reality, or I'm just tricking you? There's no release. It's just because I want to get all of these for myself. So this is a trick question. So the right answer is Flutter support for Windows. That was the major announcement. Now, Flutter for Windows. Now you can build applications for Windows, for the Windows operating system in Flutter. And you can even make it look like a native Windows application, or you can just throw your own flavor. But you see, now we're bringing, Flutter's bringing like the very compelling case for you to say, okay, what type of development environment I do to develop, anything. Now Flutter can develop in anything pretty much. Mobile, desktop, web, embedded, anywhere. Now, is everybody ready to see who won? Now I'm going to hit next, and we're going to see the leaderboard, and we're going to see who won one $25 Amazon gift card, $25 gift card, and the Flutter swag voucher. Second and third place got the Flutter swag. So let's see. Next. And congratulations, Ricky. Yes, you got one $25 Amazon gift card, and you're gonna get the Flutter swag voucher. So we're gonna ping you offline, or we can send you a direct message, and you can send us your information. All we need from you is your email and your name and email, so then we can send you your voucher, and we can send you a link that then you will have to put in your information yourself. We don't do that. You do it yourself. So for Nav and Mojin, you're gonna get Flutter swag. So you're gonna get stickers, and you're gonna get a large, actually, one of these guys, the Flutter plush toys. So congrats to everybody. Yes, that's right. So we're gonna ping you, all of you guys, Nav, of course, and Mojin. We're gonna send you. We're gonna ping you via direct message here in the chat. And then what we're gonna do, meanwhile, we are going to take a 10-minute break so that then we can continue with the rest of our event. So I'm going to drop off here just this. We're gonna do a 10-minute break, not a 5-minute break. So we're gonna do a 10-minute break. We're gonna come back at 12:10, and then we're gonna continue with the last session of this Flutter Festival, which is a hands-on workshop on Flutter and Firebase. So you can, turn off your camera, or you can just step off, get a little bit of water, go to the bathroom, do anything you want. We'll be right back at 12:10. Thank you very much, guys. Stay tuned. We're going to continue in 10 minutes. So I'm going to just go on mute and turn off my camera. See you guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Again, now this is the second part of the Flutter Festival GDG Lawrence. I hope you guys are still there. I hope, congrats again to the winners of the Flutter Trivia. I know we had a lot of fun there, so thank you guys for joining in that session. So now in the second part of this session, now we're going to be doing more hands-on. At the beginning, Kevin went through a couple of the code labs for like the beginner Flutter. This time we're doing a little bit more advanced for those of you who have seen Flutter before, but even if you haven't seen Flutter, you will be able to take away something from here, because we're going to be building backends in Firebase. Like for those of you who are wondering, how if I build a Flutter in app, how do I connect it to a backend? Well, Firebase is there for that. It's one of those offerings from Google that allows you to build like serverless backends without you having to set up any servers. You don't have to worry about that. It's all fully managed for you. And then you can build like strong serverless backends for your Flutter applications. That is exactly what we're going to be doing now. I hope that everybody is, again, energized. Everybody is, everybody is all set when it had a little break, a little screen break. And now we are ready to start on the second part of this Flutter Festival, which is building doing Flutter with Firebase. So let's start. Let me just, I'm going to be sharing one of the links for this particular workshop. I've done it in a few other events, but this is something that I like because it's pretty cool, to engage with people and build like Flutter and do Firebase and whatnot. So this is the code lab. I just dropped it in the chat right now. Just dropped in the chat the code lab that we will be doing in order to build a Flutter application connected to a Firebase backend. And then I'm going to explain all that. So at the end of this session, you will walk away with a Firebase project that you can not only use for this tutorial that we're doing right here, but also for all your applications in the future, moving forward, using a very robust backend without paying anything. Like you don't have to pay anything to, at least to start on the free tier of Firebase. You don't have to pay anything. It's like maybe a lot of people didn't know about this, or I wonder why not many people have jumped into this bandwagon and just like build a bunch of apps. I personally have built a bunch of apps using Flutter and Firebase. You saw the Flood Emotions. It was built on Flutter and Firebase. And other apps that I've built, and I'm going to show you just in a minute. For example, if you guys, I'm going to share my screen now in 1 minute. And let me know if you guys can see it now. I just needed one. Yeah, I can bring this over again, and I will have some of you guys to also, again, make sure to drop the Flood Emotions, scan the QR code, and give me some love through the Flood Emotions. Remember, the Flood Emotions was a Flutter web application that I built, and then I used Firebase as the backend. So I created a NoSQL database. I created a SQL database, NoSQL database in the backend. I created, and then that environment that is running the backend that is powering this application. I have the Flutter client, which is this application that you're supposed to be tapping to get, for example, like, to start sending me messages. For example, like right now, I'm just sending a bunch of things. You see, like these type of scenarios is what Firebase and Flutter are good for, because you can do interactive, real-time applications that you can send information to one backend, and then your Flutter application responds to it. See, everything that you're doing right now is being powered by Firebase, is being rendered by Flutter. So in this exact session, you're going to be learning how to do things like this. Another application that I built recently, just so that people who are following me and want to know where I'm going to be doing the next Flutter Festival, it's actually this application. It's called Flutter Festival Tracker. So I called it like that. Actually, let me bring it over here. So if I do Flutter Festival Tracker, this is a Flutter application that I built for the web, powered by Firebase, so that let's say if you want to know what's going to be my next Flutter Festival, you're going to see it right here. So this is an application built in Flutter. If you see it, it builds a map. It shows me like the pins of where I'm going to be in the world throughout this month doing Flutter festivals. For example, some of my next events will be, see, Flutter Festival Montreal. You can even scan the QR code or click on the link. Nav is representing GDG Montreal here. So I'm going to be doing that next Saturday. So you can see like all these events that I'm going to be building. And I build this very simply just with Flutter, backed by Firebase. Like all of this information is stored in Firebase. You can build very cool experiences like this for your own. And you can even host it in Firebase as well. I'm hosting this one in GitHub, but you can host it in Firebase. So I'm going to show you now with this hands-on tutorial. So please pay attention. Kevin and Lionel are going to be there in the line, maybe answering your questions or flagging some of the questions that you may have. But now I'm going to start with this code lab that I prepared for you guys, in which you will create a Firebase project that you can use for this tutorial, but you can use it even for your own applications. So can you give me a thumbs up? And I'm going to use the, I'm going to be using this guy right here. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to learn Flutter and Firebase. If right now you're going to get a Firebase project, just hit the thumbs up little icon, which is at the bottom. Just wanted to see if you guys are ready to start learning Flutter and Firebase. Just drop me, one in there. I'm just doing it right now also. So I can even do like a refresh in here just to make sure that everything is working as expected. But yes, that's exactly what I want. I wanted to make it very interactive. I want to, make sure that everybody is sending. Yeah, I know people are sending love. That's awesome. And you can send me, that. I'm going to show you even the backend for this, like how it works. So let's start right away. So this is the code. This is the code lab. I dropped it in the chat already. Sweet, perfect. So let's start right now. So this is the code lab I put together myself so that you guys can learn how to build your Flutter applications backed by a robust serverless backend such as Firebase Cloud Firestore. I'm going to show you exactly all of that. So in step number one, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it. Step number one, this is I'm showing you how to build a well-architected full stack Flutter application for the community. I'm calling it GDG community because we're not going to have time to complete everything today, like the whole thing. I invite you to complete it on your own. But today we're only going to be focused on the community meter. This guy right here, the third page. So please pay attention because we're going to skip a few things, but I want to maximize your learning experience. That's why I want you to pay attention and follow on this code lab because we're going to be building this community meter. I'll show you later how it will work. So everybody ready? Now let's proceed. Let's go to step number two, where I say what are the requirements, and the requirements are a computer with a browser, and an internet connection. That's all you need because we're going to be using Darpad. And Kevin already showed a little bit how Darpad works, which is a web-based source to like a web-based IDE that you can use to learn Flutter on your browser without installing anything. So that's it. So Darpad, that's how it is. Now let me show you how you launch Darpad if you guys forgot. So now let's go to step number three. So step number three, I'm showing you how to launch Darpad. So the way that you do it, I'm providing you the two links right here. You can pick either one. You open Darpad. You go to darpad.dev because it's a web-based application. Then you see that it just looks like that. And then now if you want to set up in a sandbox, an environment for your Flutter development, you have to go to the top left corner of Darpad and you find this button that says New Pad. Then when you click on New Pad, just like Kevin showed earlier, you say Create New Pad, and then you click OK. After you, for example, like you want to create a new pad. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to zoom in, click New Pad, click on Flutter, and then you hit Create. If some of you, didn't see this, make sure that you actually get it because you're going to say create a new pad, select Flutter, and then you click Create. And then what you get like like this. It's supposed to look like this. So you click on Flutter, and then you click on Create, and then you should get a new environment that gives you like a new sandbox for you to do Flutter. And then all you have to do when you do the coding, all your coding is going to happen on the left-hand side. And then you click on the run button to run your code on the left. And then this is kind of like a preview, kind of like the emulator or like your physical device. So you type here in Flutter, and then here you see like the hello world. You see, like this is like the boilerplate that you see for the hello world. Perfect. So I believe we are all set with knowing how to launch Dartpad. So now we're ready to begin with this project. So the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to create a Firebase project. Let's go to step number 4, because now I'm going to show you how you can create a Firebase project and for free that then you can use to power your Flutter applications. The first thing that you need to know is that Firebase is the suite of services that allows you to build robust applications, like provide great backends for your applications. And you can include like authentication, storage, cloud messaging, cloud functions, databases, like a NoSQL database, and a lot of things, a lot of features that it gives you. We're going to keep you in the free tier, because even in the free tier, you could do like a bunch of things. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So in step number 4, I would advise you to, in step number 4, you're going to navigate to the Firebase console. There's a link right here, but if you don't have that link, you can just go, I'm going to drop the link in the chat. You can go to console.firebase.google.com. This is where you should be. Like you should be in console Firebase Google.com, for example. And then you create a brand new project. Let me show you how you do that. So for example, I can go to another like another email that I have that I haven't done like this. So maybe I can try like this email right here. Let me see if it allows me to do that. So I'm gonna try that, because what I want you to see is exactly how it will look when you come in for the first time. This is what it looks like when you come in for the first time. So if this is your experience, you are correct. You're gonna get to Firebase, go to consolefirebase.google.com, and you don't have an account. Let's create an account for the first time. I would advise you to use like a Gmail account, because it's kind of tied to your Gmail account. And I promise you won't be charged. So let me zoom in. And we are on step number 4. Step number 4, we say we go to the console firebase.google.com, and we're going to create a project. So you should be here at this spot. There is a button that says create project. So you're going to click that. Let me show you right here. So you see it says create project. So you're going to click right there where it says create project. You click once, and you're gonna go through a series of steps. It's not that many steps. I think it's like 2 or 3 steps. The first step, you're gonna name your project. So what are you gonna name your project? Remember, you're in your console under your Gmail account, but then Firebase is gonna create a project in the Google Cloud for you, but it's gonna create like a sandbox under the free tier. Let's start. So then the name of the project, you can call it anything. I am going to call it GDG Lawrence app, for example, something like that. So I'm going to call it, you can call it anything. Make sure that it's unique. You click this button that says, I accept the Firebase terms. If you look at the code lab, I'm doing exactly that. So I'm in step number 4. You put your name, you accept the Firebase terms. So you hit continue. Now the second step, it tells you if you want to enable Google Analytics, say no, we don't need Google Analytics. Just like in the code lab, I am saying no to Google Analytics. You can enable it later, but Google Analytics is more for like when you want to do A/B testing, you want to have like test users, you want to provide analytics to your application to see how it behaves on the wild, and you want to collect like some reports. But in this case, no, we don't need it, because you can enable it later, but we don't need it at this point. So skip on Google Analytics. After you turn it off, now it's all about you creating your project. So now let's click create project. I'm going to click on create project right down here. And while that spins, I am going to show you here in step number 4 what it looks like. So you click it, it spins for a little bit, and what it's doing is it's creating a repository in the Google Cloud. If anybody asks you, have you worked on the Google Cloud? Yes, you have worked on the Google Cloud. because Firebase, all the resources under Firebase are built on top of the Google Cloud. So now let's wait. Let's see if this is spinning. Perfect. It completed the project. And now your project is ready. So you click on continue. I'm going to click continue. And then you land in the main Firebase console. This is what you call the Firebase console, where you manage all the resources for your backend. Isn't this amazing? This is pretty cool because you didn't see me putting any credit card or anything. This is what Google gives you. You should take advantage of this. How do I tell you that you're not paying anything? Look at the lower left corner right here where it says Spark, no cost, $0 a month. That is what it is. So that is the free tier that I'm telling you, which is the Spark tier. If you decide, let's say in the future, if you want to do more advanced stuff, you can click on the upgrade and then you can go to the Blaze tier. The Blaze tier, even the Blaze tier, there are free stuff in the Blaze tier, but you have to exceed certain quotas. If you don't exceed those quotas, you don't pay anything. For example, like your application exceeds 2 million executions of cloud functions. If you don't exceed that, you can be in the Blaze tier and you can use cloud functions. For now, we're going to be in the Spark tier, which is use quotas for database, Firestore, storage, functions, phone off, hosting, and test lab. All those things for free. Can you believe it? I do. Anyway, so that is that. So now you're here in the Firebase console. Just wanted to make sure, please leave in the chat any questions if you're falling behind or you feel like you're stuck on something. Like the team can help you figure that out, or I can answer the question. So please make sure to answer it, to leave the questions in there. So now the next thing in the code lab, I'm still in step number 4. You see that I've built the Firebase project. Now it's time to see. I'm even showing you that we're in the Spark, free $0 a month, blah blah blah, no cost, $0 a month, right? Let's go to next. We're going to go to step number 5. Now we're going to start creating our first database. So let's create it together. So in Flutter, for example, like in the Flutter Festival Tracker that I created and in the Flutter Motions application, I build a Cloud Firestore database. Cloud Firestore is a flexible, scalable, NoSQL database to store and sync data. This is like the crown jewels of Firebase because it gives you like real-time capabilities. You can store information. It gives you offline support, and you can build robust applications on top of a very, very easy to use backend that is always up. You don't have to set up any servers. You won't see me at all like specifying the type of server, where is the Linux, what type of operating system it is. No, I only worry about my data. I only worry about the experience that I'm gonna deliver to my users, and that's it. That's all you need to worry about. So let's continue. So what we're gonna be building here is a brand new NoSQL Cloud Firestore database. Like I told you, it's a NoSQL database. But this is a little different than like MongoDB or like what is it like CouchDB or like one of those DynamoDB. I think is the one one that is also like very NoSQL. Like it only uses like JavaScript, like JSON objects as your data model. So in this particular case, it doesn't do that. It uses documents and collections. So Cloud Firestore uses documents, which are nothing more than key value pairs for your data. And then it uses collections to group those documents. So a collection is a group of documents, and a document is a group of key value pairs that represent your data. Simple as that. If you keep your mind with that, you should be good. So now let's proceed and create our first Cloud Firestore database. So go back to right here to Firebase. In here where it says build, on the left-hand side, make sure to click build, this icon right here, this link. And then see that you have a bunch of the offerings that I mentioned earlier, like authentication. You can explore that on your own, but that gives you like a way to authenticate your apps, providing authentication to your apps using like email and password, using like third-party providers like Google, Microsoft, Twitter, Facebook, all of those for free. And we're going to be doing Firestore database. That is what we're going to be doing here. But other things that you can get are like real-time database, which is another type of like NoSQL database. Storage, you can store like up to I think it's like up to 1 GB of space, and then you can just store a bunch of things in there. Hosting, you can host like a website, you can host like a web app here in Firebase. You have cloud functions, so you can have like a very discrete, small, focused functions running in the Google Cloud, and you can manage it through here. You can do machine learning. You could also do like Firebase Cloud Messaging, which is like push notifications to your apps. All you can manage it through here. But right now, we're gonna focus only on Firebase Firestore database. So let me click here on the Firestore database. I'm gonna click there. And then here it says, okay, we're going to create a cloud Firestore database. So is everybody ready to start to create a Firestore database? I know I am. I'm just going to wait. Maybe if anybody just wants to drop like a thumbs up, that's totally fine. Just wanted to make sure that either you're listening or you're just following along. It's all good. I just wanted at least to make sure that everybody was engaged. Perfect. Awesome. Let's continue. So now we're going to click where it says create database. So I'll click on create database. And then the first thing, if you're following along, you can even follow the code lab. In the code lab, I show you all those things. So I click on create database. And then now the next step is asking me whether I want to start in production mode or test mode. If you start in production mode, your data only authenticated users can connect. But right now we're going to do it in test mode so we can keep it open. So you click, we're going to start this database in test mode. And then that's it. These are some what they're called the Firebase rules, so that you can prevent how your data is accessed, but you don't have to worry about that now. Let's just hit next and let's continue. So I'm going to click next. And then here it says where is the location of that. You're not saying the server. You're not specifying a server. You're only saying the region in the Google Cloud ecosystem, in the Google Cloud network. Where is it that is going to be living? So the location by default is US Central. So you can just leave it like that. You can leave it by default. You can pick other regions. Let's say if you're in more closer to you, let's say if you're in Europe or you're in Asia, wherever, you can pick whichever. For me, I will leave the default as US Central. So I'll select that and click enable. Now I'm going to let it provision the database for me. And I'm just going to go through the code lab so that you can see that we are actually doing exactly the same thing. So you see that after he provisions it, after a few seconds, blah, 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 it just provisions the database. Now let's go to step number 6, where we're going to start building our data. So, okay, perfect. Now that you're there, you see like it spun for a little bit, and now it takes me to the console where I am going to start adding data. I'm going to be populating data to that database. In the code lab, we are now in step number 6. So make sure that you're in step number 6 also. Let's continue. So let's set up the data. Remember that before we mentioned that the data in your database, in the Cloud Firestore database, is based on documents and collections. That's it. You add a collection, then you add documents to it. To a document, you don't add more documents. You add a collection, and then you add more documents, and so on and so forth, until you build your hierarchy. So let's continue. So let's start by creating, let's go back to, I'm step number 6. We're going to start by creating a collection. You don't add a document because you want to add multiple things. So imagine like a collection, if you come from like SQL or any other like RDBMS type of databases, imagine that like a collection is a table. So a collection is a table. And then inside of your database table, you want to add like rows. Like to the table, you add rows. To the collection, you add documents, just like that. So let's start. Here, there is a button in your Cloud Firestore repository where there's a button that says Start Collection, so that you can add a collection. That is the first thing you start with, a collection. So let's start by clicking on this button that says Start Collection. And then to a collection, you give it an ID because you want to refer to that collection whenever you're querying data. It's kind of like your table, like I said. So add a name, and then I'm going to be just following along in here. You can just name it exactly the same way. In step number 6, you can say team. Like that's the name of your collection. So I'm going to add a collection called team, and then I'm going to hit next. Now, no collection cannot be empty. Like you don't have like an empty table in this particular case. You have to have at least one document. Otherwise, your collection doesn't show. You need to have a document inside of your collection. So how do you add a document? Like I mentioned, a collection is a group of documents, but a document is a group of key value pairs. That's how it works. So it just like in a table scenario, you have like a primary key for your row. The same thing you need to add to a document. You have to add a like a document ID. You can either use like this provision here, like this tool that gives you an auto ID, or you can add your own unique ID to your document. I'm going to be using the auto ID, so I'll click on auto ID. And then I get like a random ID there. And then now I'm going to start adding fields to my document. If you look at the tutorial, if you look here at the code lab, I'm adding like 3 fields. Let's say we're going to test adding like full name, photo URL, and title, for example. We're going to try that. I'm going to be providing you with the values in the chat if you want to follow along. But for example, I'm going to add a field called name. And then I'm going to, for example, every field now, whenever you add fields to a document, every field can have more than one type. Like fields can have one type, for example, can be like a string, a number, a Boolean, an array, a map, a bunch of types. So you can just have one type for that field. So my name is going to be a string, and then I'm going to say Roman. If you want to add another field to this document, just click on the plus sign here. You click there, and then you add another one. For example, like photo URL. And then you also make it into a string, and then you can add whatever in here. You can add blah, blah, blah. In your case, you can find anything online, and you can just add it there. At least follow along with me so that you know how to create documents. You can add the information later. So at least try to follow along with me. Now I'm going to add another field, and you can continue like that. For example, you can add something called like age, or like what was it that I added here? Like I added something called title. See, like it's all strings. But for example, in my case, I can add an age, and then I add like a number. And then you see like a number could be anything. So I'll do 50, for example, whatever. So but I'm not 50. That's okay. Anyway, so you can add that, and then that's it. So you can add more things. So now if you're ready now to add, you've added all the fields, and then you've added a document ID. Now you save that document inside of that collection. So you just click on save. And then now you can see how your database is already populated with one collection, one document, and and then in the document, you can see all the fields. If you want to continue building your hierarchy, for example, you can either add other documents, add collections under a document. For example, let's say I want to add a collection under my document called like titles. Yeah, like I have multiple titles. So I can add a collection, and then I call it titles, right? Like this. And then to that collection, I add documents. So I'm going to add a document called like, GDG. Like my title in GDG is lead organizer, for example, like that. That is a document with one field called GDG, and the value is lead organizer. And then I hit save. If you see here now, you see that my document has these 3 fields. It has a collection with one document that has a field called lead organizer. And that's how you build your structure. So you build it little by little, adding documents, adding fields, and so on. So let me add another document. Make sure that your documents have the same fields and the same types. Otherwise, then your application is going to blow up. And then you're like violating kind of like the schema of your database. So if you want to add another document under the team collection, you can just click up here where it says add document. You add a document ID, and you add the same fields that you add in the other one. So I'm going to say name. I'm going to add somebody from here. I'm going to say Kevin Kwan. Photo URL, like maybe a URL to his photo somewhere, whatever. And then age, let's say Kevin is 25 years old, something like that. I'm going to hit save. And then you see, very simple. You didn't have to set up a server. You didn't have to install SQL Server. You didn't have to set up a bunch of environment variables, created the relationship and all of that. No, you only had to go to Firebase, Firestore database, add a collection, and in a very intuitive UI, I was able to add 2 documents and add fields to my document. So does anybody have any questions in the chat regarding Firebase and adding documents, collections, and how Firestore works as far as like the building a hierarchy of data for your applications? If you have any questions, again, feel free to drop them in the chat. and then we will be able to get to those as as they come in. As you know, as questions come in or whatever, I'm gonna continue. Or let me see, do we see one? Okay, Michael has a question. He says, it looks like you can create a collection inside a document. That is correct. Yes, you can add even more than one collection inside of a document. A document, like I said, is a group of key value pairs. A key could also be one collection, and the value is that collection, like an array of other documents. And then that document can have another collection. For example, you remember in this one, I created the document collection called titles, and then I added a document that had a field called lead organizer. I can come in here and add another collection. So I have like two levels of like hierarchies, and the bottommost one has another collection. So you can just do a collection, document, and then you build your structure like that. So yes, that is correct.
Say, Roman, I want to add a comment. So in Firebase document, there's a limit. So there's a 1 megabyte limit you can create.
It's 1 megabyte limit. Thank you. So within, thank you. Very, very, very good point. It's a 1 megabyte limit on a document. So a document, not the whole database, because you have 1 gig of space for your whole data, but one document can be the maximum 1 megabyte limit. Like you see this document, this one, I don't think is 1 megabyte. It's probably like a couple of kilobytes. But if you add more fields in here and then it amounts to be 1 megabyte, you cannot add more stuff. So it will limit it to a 1 megabyte document size, a document, not the whole database. The whole database is 1 gigabyte. If you want to exceed the 1 gigabyte, then they charge you 18 cents per additional gigabyte. Even less than a cup of coffee, you get 1 gigabyte extra of data. So that's what's pretty cool. So Kevin, thank you very much for that clarification. So yeah, so there you go. See, I created a collection, I added documents, and then those are the fields. So I hope that some of you now are getting familiar. See, this is like in a nutshell how you work with Cloud Firestore in your now you're building data. Going back to the code lab, you can follow along with the code lab exactly, because that's exactly what I did. And you can add like a couple of things in here, add documents, add collections inside a document, and so on. So as a recap, again, just wanted to mention a Firestore, a Cloud Firestore database can have collections can have documents have key value pairs, and a document cannot have another document, but it can have a collection that then it can have documents, just like that. Perfect. Now we're going to continue with the code lab. We're going to go to step number 7. So in step number 7, I'm going to show you now how we're going to start doing the connection from from Firebase, how we're going to connect to the Firebase to that Flutter application. So there's one thing left to do in Cloud Firestore before we go to Flutter. So let's go back to the Cloud Firestore, to your console right here. I'm going to click at the top where it says project overview. And this is all exactly what I'm doing is in step number 7. So in step number 7, you have to create, whenever you're building an application that you're going to use Firebase as your backend, you need to create an app inside of Firestore. It's not like you're building the app. No, it's just like a reference to a set of SDKs and configurations that specific platform requires. It's not like you're building an app. It's like the configuration that app needs. For example, you need to do an iOS app if you're connecting Firebase to your iOS. You need an Android app if you need to connect Firebase to your Android app. And the same thing for web or Unity if you want to do that. So you're not building the app here. You're just building the configuration that each one of those platforms requires. So let me show you how to do that. So now the next thing that you need to do, and it's in step number 7, you pick the web app. So I'm going to go here and I click on web. See, you go to project overview. You're here in the console. You click on project overview, and then here at the top, you click, there's Apple, Android, and web. So I'm going to click on web. But if you're building cross-platform, you're going to have to click each one of those. Let's do the web. So I'm going to click on web. And then you get a 2-step wizard. The first thing that you need to do is you need to register your application. Like, what is the name, like the nickname of your application? we're going to be building a web app. So I'm going to call it GDG Lawrence web app, just like that. You can call it anything, but you need to name something so that from Firebase, from Flutter, you can refer to that. Or actually, or in your list of applications, you can identify it, like for each platform. Now you can even set up Firebase hosting if it's a web app. In this particular case, it is asking me if I want to do hosting. I can host it for free. I'm like, no, we don't need to host it. But if you want to do that, you can set up hosting. Now you just click register app. And then what it's doing is just generating the configuration that you need to put in Flutter, as you can see it right here. All you need is this configuration right here. What this does, for those of you who come from like SQL Server, this is like the connection string. MySQL, this is MySQL, like this is kind of like the connection string. Postgres is kind of like if you set up a connection to that database. In Firebase, then you provide this configuration. That's how you connect to your data, like the team collections and all that we created, and adding data and all that. You need this configuration so that Flutter can connect to it. So that's all you need. Now, after I did this, you can even copy paste it or whatever, but I'm going to show you how you can access it from somewhere else. So, but at this point, you've built your app. Now you click on continue to console. So I click continue to console. And now you see up here that there is one app created. So we've already created a web app. If you now were building for iOS or Android, you need to create the other two apps. But for now, we're going to do a web app. Now, you remember the configuration that you saw, like all that stuff? You can find it here. Look, in your web app, let me do it again. You click up here, GDG Lawrence web app. You click on this little cog, the little wrench thingy. You can click on this icon, and then you get like all the configuration required for that application to connect to Flutter. You don't have to do anything. This is all done for you. And then here you see project settings in the general tab, how you can scroll down, and you can see here like a support email. Make sure that you select this. I can't tell you how many days I've spent like debugging my application because it didn't want to connect from Flutter to Firebase because I forgot this little step. It's so trivial, but it's very important. So make sure that when you're in your web app and you click on the cog and you're in the general tab and you're scrolling down, always make sure that you have that as a support email. You make sure the support email is the email that you created this Firebase project with. And then if you keep scrolling down, you will see the configuration right here. So you didn't lose it. You just go to the project settings, select the web app, scroll all the way down, and then you see the configuration. Now we're ready to go to Flutter, build our application, and connect to this database. Is everybody ready now to do some advanced Flutter where we're going to connect our Flutter application to this Firebase database? Everybody ready? Just wanted to see some thumbs up on the chat. Nav is ready. As always, he's a rock star in the Android space. Nav, of course, you know that you can use Firebase. Of course, he knows that. Ricky, Abhishek, all of you guys are ready to continue. So let's do that. I'm going to go to the next step. Remember, we went through all the steps in step number 7. Now we're going to go to the step number 8, where we're going to start setting up our application. So what are we going to do? I'm going to just move this over to the right-hand side. I see a bunch of people also, these are coming like from earlier, but that's totally fine. So I'm going to just move my the code to the left-hand side, and on the right, on the right-hand side, and on the left, I'm going to have Darpad. So that is what we're going to be doing, just like this. So now on one hand side, on the left-hand side, I have Darpad. On the right-hand side, I have the code. So now let's start. I'm going to be even providing some of the code. Again, this code lab, we're not going to finish the whole thing today, just to let you know. But we are going to complete enough so we can do the connection. So you can follow me or follow the tutorial, but then follow the code lab. But I'm going to skip a few steps. So stay tuned so that you see those things that I'm going to skip, so that we can get to the good stuff. So now let's start from scratch. What I'm going to do is, in my Darpad environment, I'm going to do a Control-A. I'm going to delete everything. I don't need anything. I'm going to show you that you can start from scratch. Even right now, you can start from scratch building an application. and you're gonna get really far at the end of this session from scratch. I'm gonna show you that. So now we are in step number 8, like I mentioned, and then in step number 8, there is a chunk of code that you need to copy, and you're gonna paste into Dartpad, because what this means, I'm going to import some of the core libraries that I need to build this application. So I need the material library, so I'm gonna be using some of the material the material UI from Google. I have the Google fonts because I want to apply like some fonts. The Firebase core and the Cloud Firestore, then those are the libraries that give me the Firebase instance that I can then connect to the database. You need those 2 libraries, so you need to import that. Now let's continue down the line where I have a main method. Remember, we mentioned it in the trivia. We say the main method is the most important method in the Flutter application. You need that. So let me copy the main method, and I'm going to just paste it right here. So you see the main method is the main method in the application. You need to bootstrap the application. You need the main method. Now I'm going to scroll right down, and you see now you cannot copy some of that code. I'm doing it on purpose because that is the key to learn Flutter. If you want to learn Flutter, you have to type. It's not copy pasting like I've seen a bunch of tutorials and a bunch of code labs where you copy paste, and at the end you're like, I didn't learn anything. I just copy pasted the whole way. No, this is forcing you to exercise your Flutter muscle. So some things I let you copy, some things I let you type. In this case, I'm gonna have you type a little bit and then you do the rest. So let's continue. In some things, I'm gonna help you, of course. So let's continue on step number here on step number 8. We're now in the main method. The first thing that you need to do is add the configuration information to connect to Firebase. First thing, you need to make your main method asynchronous. That means that anything inside of the main method that is going to make like an asynchronous call is going to wait for that. So you need to make a connection. You first need to connect to Firebase. Is an asynchronous call. So you need to decorate the main method with async. Now in here, you have to execute a method called, I'm going to drop it in the chat also, widgets flutter binding dot ensure initialized. This is a method in the framework that ensures that before you do any calls to any external library or whatever, you need to make sure that Flutter is fully initialized and the Flutter binding mechanism is in place, because you cannot pull databases and start consuming data if your UI is not ready to consume it. So you need to have that. I'm going to just copy this and drop it in the chat if anybody wants to just copy paste it. If you're lazy, you just type it. You can grab that and put it in the main method. There you go. Now, the next thing that you need to do, now we're going to set up the configuration that we got in Firebase. So you have to type await Firebase dot initialize app. You see the IntelliSense gave it to me a little bit. Make sure that you close your parentheses appropriately. And then inside of the initialize app, you need to provide an options object. I'm going to zoom in a little so you guys can see it also. So you have to have an options object, and the options is a constant of type Firebase options. I'm going to be dropping this in the chat also, just in case. I'm going to drop the whole await if anybody wants to just copy paste it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to initialize my Flutter instance with the connection string, with that connection object configuration, so I can connect to Firebase. Where do I get this? You remember, go back to Firebase console, and there it is. Remember, you go to project settings, you go to project overview, you find your web app or the app that you're setting it up with. You scroll all the way down in the generals tab, and here they are. I'm going to just copy this chunk of code. You don't need the whole thing. You only need those keys in between. So just grab this Firebase configuration. Just grab that and copy it. And you paste it inside of those options right there. You just paste it like that. I'm going to just fix the tabbing. You fix the tabbing by doing shift and tab. Try not to do tab because you lose it. Make sure you do like shift tab if you want to fix the formatting. Also, there is a button for formatting up here. You could do this one. You can like format it, and then it formats it for you. So there you go. Let's see. That's all. now this application is connected. Like when I run it for the first time, now it will connect to Firebase, but it won't tell you anything, but it's connecting already. So I'm glad that, perfect. So you can just copy that. Perfect. So let's continue now with more on the initialization of the application. So back to the code, back to the code lab. I'm going to scroll down. And instead of doing this, I'm going to have you move over to the next step. Like we are in step number 8, go to step number 9. Because now that you have this, I want to show you something. You're going to go to step number 9. In step number 9 is telling you that we're going to be building this, but we're not going to do that at this point. But in step number 9, there is a class that contains like a bunch of information that you're going to be using later in this application, like some constants for some colors, some links for some images. I want you to copy the class in step number 9. There is a class called utils, and this is kind of like a good practice so that you don't have like floating variables in the global global namespace. You need to have them like all encapsulated into one class. So the way that you do it, you go to step number 9 after you did the Firebase initialization. Go to step number 9, scroll a little bit down on step number 9, and there is this class called utils. So just gonna copy that, and you can paste it anywhere in your font. You can put it like even all the way at the bottom. What I'm doing here is I'm just giving you some constant values that you're going to be using throughout the development of your application. In a normal scenario, yeah, you're going to complete step number 8, then step number 9. But after this, now we're going to skip to another step. So again, remember, this is, we're following along. Those of you who are looking, that's totally fine. If you're following along, just make sure that you have the void main method, that you have the method called widgets flutter binding ensure initialized, and that you have the await method in here with the Firebase options already set up. Then I had you go to step number 9. You scroll all the way, like halfway probably, but maybe at the beginning, and you copy this utils class. And then that utils class is going to contain like colors, some links for images that we're going to be using in our application while we're developing it. Perfect. So I'm just going to give you a minute for you to do that. Now what we're going to do, we're going to skip from step number 9. We're going to skip to step 14. So in step 14, this is now what we're going to be building. So I'm going to give you a minute so that you can complete what we have in Dartpad. Now we're going to start building this page right here. So what this page will entail is we're going to be creating a button, and we're going to be creating a widget that is going to be feeding off of Firebase. Everybody's going to be clicking on that button. All of us are going to click on the button. We're going to save data into Firebase, and we're going to receive that data in real time and display it like a bar. And then as people click, you will see the bar going up. And then until the bar reaches 300 messages, then it's going to show a message that says, congrats, we did it. So this is going to be kind of like a community-based type of project. So all of us are you're going to help me in making this happen. So I hope that everybody is up to date on what we did right now. If not, that's totally fine. You can just keep looking, but make sure that you do this on your own time, at your own pace, and take a look at how cool it is to connect Flutter to Firebase. So is everybody ready? Let's do a thumbs up, and let's continue. So what I'm going to be doing, yeah, I see you. Ricky, you're all the way there, man. Good, awesome, that's perfect. So thumbs up to you. Let's continue. Let's continue building. So now we're in step 14. We're going to be building this page, and then I'm showing you how is it that what it entails. Before we continue proceeding on step 14, I will have you do one more thing. So at the end of this method, of the main method, right under the initialization, I'm going to have you call one method from the framework called run app. So you're going to be typing run app. Run app is a method from Flutter that installs the root widget at the top of the widget hierarchy. Everything in Flutter is a widget, including the application. So what we're going to do is the run app, what it does, after it bootstraps the application, it puts the first widget in the widget tree, which is the material app. Like the same application itself, the application itself is a widget. So you need to use the run app method to actually install that in there. So the way that you do it, you say run app, and then inside of run app, you say material app. So the material app is the main app, like the main root that is going to contain all the other child widgets in it. So it's going to contain like all the styles for the material. It's going to give you like navigation. It's going to give you a couple of hooks that you can do to leverage the richness of the material library. So even the material app is a widget. The root of the app is a widget. So I'm going to copy this in here so you can drop it in the chat. So if you feel lazy, you want to copy it, you can just grab it and copy it. So now inside of the material app, you're going to now load the first widget. So the material app is a widget, but now you're going to create your own custom widget. So how do you do it? You type home. Home then means this is going to be the first widget that we're going to show to the user. Because if you just have the material app, it doesn't show anything. You need to add a widget in the home, which will be kind of like the landing page for your application. Does that sound clear? So the home is like the home page, the home widget, what you see when you see it the first time. Now, we can almost go to step 14, but in the home, we need to install then that widget. We're going to be creating a custom widget, and we're going to call it GDG Community Support. And then the GDG Community Support, you're going to see it right now. It's going to blow up. It's going to have like a red line. It's because it doesn't exist yet. When you create custom widgets, you have to create them by creating a class. You can name it anything, and then it has to extend either stateful widget or stateless widget, like Kevin mentioned earlier. Stateful widgets are widgets that maintain their state. Stateless widgets stateful widgets maintain their states, and stateless widgets just paint themselves on the screen. You don't have to worry about changing anything or anything. So you just do either stateful or stateless. In this case, we're going to be creating a stateless widget called GDG Community Support. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to shrink this a little. And then now, because this is red, you see, you need to now create that widget. So the material app is a widget, but the home widget doesn't exist. We need to create it. So find a spot anywhere inside of Darpat. I'm going to just move something here. And you start, when you create a widget, you create a class. You name it anything you want. In our case, we're going to call it GDG Community Support, right? And then you expand stateless widget in this case. Stateless widgets, like I said, does not maintain state as it rebuilds. And then it just paints itself on the screen. Simple as that. Next thing, as I'm looking at the code lab, every widget, remember in the trivia, we said that the most important method of a widget is the build method, because the build method is executed by Flutter when it's going to paint widgets on the screen. So you have to override it and then provide your own implementation of the build method. The build method then, like you see in the code lab, has to return a widget, and you have to override the build method. Then the build method receives something called the build context. The build context is an object that is provided by the framework when this widget gets mounted on the widget tree. Imagine like a tree, and then the material app is at the top. Then the material app mounts the GDG Community Support widget, and then other widgets get mounted like that, and then they build a tree. So the build context is an object that gets passed down into the widget so that it knows where it is in the hierarchy. Also, you can use that widget to pull information about parent widgets. You can pull information about services if you're implementing like state management. You can also query like stuff about the device in which this application is running. So the context is used for a lot of things. So context is very important for every widget because you can query where you are, you can pull information about parents, you can pull sizing information, device information, all using the context. We're gonna dive more into the context later. And last but not least, what you need to do is inside of the build method, that's where you build your widget. So let's do then we return a scaffold widget. So I'm going to return a scaffold widget, which is kind of like one of those widgets that gives you like a scaffold, like the body, header, footer, a menu, and stuff like that. So it's very common to use this one. Good. Is everybody good? Awesome. So let's continue. And then now we're going to be adding like something to this. Let's see, remember, like I added the community support here in the material app, which is okay. Now I'm going to scroll down. I'm still on step 14. You keep scrolling down until you get to this point right here where we're going to be adding a background color and an app bar to this widget. So inside of the scaffold, I'm still in step 14. Inside of the scaffold, you can add a background color. So that's how you add things to widget. You populate their properties. So you add background color, colors.white. So I'm gonna paste this if anybody wants to copy it. For example, like just a little bit of help for you typing. You guys have been awesome. So there you go. So the scaffold then is just like a like a scaffold, like a harness for you to add other things in there. And then you're gonna add a background color. So now that I have this, I'm gonna try it in Darpad to see what it's looking like. So I'm gonna hit the run button just to test what I can see. I created, like I showed you, the run app, the material app, then I added my first widget. It should just show me a blank screen in white. That's all it should do. And then you see it. You see, that's it. And then that's it. Now let's continue. So now the next thing that it wants me to add in the code lab is an app bar. So the app bar is that widget that you can add at the top of your scaffold to like add a title, add like menus, options and whatnot. So let's add this. Inside of the scaffold, then I hit comma because you want to add another property to the scaffold, and you're going to add the app bar. And then app bar is another widget. Everything in Flutter is a widget. The app bar, the scaffold, a drawer, a menu, all that is a widget, including the same one that we're building right now. So inside of app bar, you have to set a couple of properties. For example, you want to set a background color. Also, just like in the scaffold, you can say background color, and then you can say colors that transparent. I'm saying I don't want any colors in the bar. Make it transparent. That's it. You can say elevation 0. That means I don't want any shadows on the bar because it gives you a shadow. And then if you say elevation 0, that means no shadows. You can also add an icon theme. You can say icon theme. That means any icons that you add in the bar is going to adopt the same theme. So you can say add it as a constant, and you can say icon theme data, and then you can add a color to that. You can say colors.gray. What I'm saying here is for all the icons that I add to the app bar, they will all be gray. That's all he's saying. And last but not least, a title. So you might imagine that you think I might be adding like a label in there, but a title is a widget. You can add anything as the title. You can add a text label, you can add a widget, you can add an image, you can add anything up there, as long as it doesn't look like hideous, but you can add anything as the title. So as my title, I will add an image from the web. So the way to do that, you set the title to be an image.network. Image.network is another widget. Then you can feed it the URL of an image, and then it's going to show it for you. So because I got you guys, remember we created that class utils down there. With this class, now we're going to be using this property called app bar icon, which is a URL pointed to an image, so you can use it right here. So let me show you how you do that. So you say image.network, and then you use the class like this, utils dot, and then you get like all those properties that are in there. So you say app bar icon. And then with that, now I'll have an image coming from the network, and then I'm going to show it in the app bar. Now, all this image needs is just me adding some properties. For example, like the width. I can add the width, like 40 pixels. I'm going to add a height also of 40 pixels. And I'm going to say how it's going to fit in the app bar or within those 40 pixels, actually. So I'm going to say fit box fit dot contain. That means within the 40 by 40 dimension, fit yourself in there without affecting its aspect ratio. So it's going to just fit itself appropriately within the 40 by 40, within the 40 by 40 dimension. So I'm going to copy this scaffold and I'm going to drop it in the chat So if anybody wants to just copy paste it, and you want to be, you're lazy, you just want to copy, there you go. So you can just copy that, drop it in there inside of the build method, and then let's run it. Let's see what it's looking like so far. So I'm gonna hit run, and then we should be able to see something at the top. So you see, like in Dartpad, you code and you run, and then you keep seeing things like that. And there you go. You see, that's how easy it is, like to add like an image to the app bar of a scaffold. Just by bringing an image.network, you could put a label in there. But I like to make my applications more unique and more, more like different than others. So let's continue along. Now what we're going to do is we're going to consume now the body of that widget. So we're going to be doing the body of the widget. So now in step 14, I'm going to scroll down, and then you see now that I'm going to be using the body of the scaffold. So I'm going to, right under the app bar, I'm going to type body. Body now is everything inside of this widget right here. So we're going to do everything, put everything now inside of the body. So that's why you have to say body. Body then takes any widget. And inside of the body, then we're going to add another widget. In Flutter, everything is a widget, even positional widgets like padding, like I said, container, align, center, position, all of those, even those, aside from like buttons, text, images, lists, even positional elements are widgets. So we're going to be adding a padding. And then to that padding, I'm going to add like 40 pixels of padding all around it. How do you do that? You set the padding property of the padding widget, and then you call it edge insets.all. What I'm saying here is add 40 pixels of padding all around it. So I'm going to say 40 pixels all around the padding, whichever the padding is wrapping pretty much. And then after I do the padding widget, I am going to add a child. In Flutter, when you're building your structure, you have to add children's, and you have to add children and childs and whatnot. So there are widgets that take one single child. There are other widgets that take children. Padding is one of the ones that take only one single child. So in the padding, I'm going to add another widget called a column. So, and then you can assume what the column does. A column only, adds widgets in a vertical fashion. So it just lines them up, like up and down, and just makes them vertical. That's all it does. So a column adds widgets up and down. Also, you can say, for example, like remember, padding is a widget that takes one child. Column is a widget that takes children. So there's a property called children. And then here inside of the children property, you can add other widgets. So now in the column, I missed one line where I'm going to make that all the items in this column, as they get added to the children property, they're going to be aligned. They're going to be stretched pretty much. So let's do that. So I'm going to say in the column has that property called cross-axis alignment, dot stretch. That means we're going to stretch on the column. And then any items that you do, they'll try to stretch themselves. So I'm going to copy the body. I'm going to drop it in the chat. If anybody, again, like feels a little bit lazy and they just want to copy that, you can just copy the whole thing and then paste it in the body. And then that's it. Now let's continue moving along. So now we want to add like other types of widgets, like a text widget. You can add a text widget. You can add button widgets. You can add anything. So now let's try adding text widgets. I'm going to do those, and I'm going to even provide it to you. But a text widget is nothing more than just a label that shows some content. That's all we're going to do. So let me show you how you add a text widget. So to add a text widget, you say const text, and then in here, you add the text that you want to display. So in our case, we want to add something called community meter. And then inside of the text widget, you can add styles to that widget. You can add how it's going to behave. So for example, and how it's going to look like. So this is a text widget. And inside of the text widget, I can say text align. And then I can specify how I want to align the text in it. So I say text align center, right? And then now I want to apply some styles, kind of like if you want to do CSS. So you say style, text style, and then inside of the text style is where you can add bold, italic, you can add a color, you can add a font like a font family or anything you want. So in this case, I'm going to add a color. And because I got you, remember, we're going to be using the colors that I specified here in this class down here. It's kind of like my utility class. So in order to set the color to this text, you say utils.main color. And you also set a font size. So I'm going to say font size dot 30. I'm sorry, some font size colon 30. So if you see, as a recap, I am adding a text widget that says community meter. The text is aligned to the center with a color of purple, like the main color, whatever the color is, and a font size of 30. Now, because I want to save myself some time, I'm going to just copy paste this and put it here. And then I'll just redo this. And then I say, okay, I'm going to add like goal 300 messages, because it's going to be like the subtitle. So you can add it like that, because this is a column. They will be adding themselves one on top of each other. Then all I do here is I'm just going to decrease the font size to 15. Okay. Now, after I do that, let me copy this whole column so you guys can copy paste it and save some typing. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to run it to see what it looks like. So I'm going to run it here. I'm going to hit run. I can zoom out a little bit. And then now we'll see when it renders what it's going to look like. So we should be at this point where we see the community meter. We see community meter, and then you see the label. You see, that's how you build your widgets. That's how you build your structures in Flutter. In Flutter, it's very easy to just immediately produce something. Now, we're going to get to the fun part. Now we're going to connect to Firebase and pull stuff from Firebase. So now that we have the connection, now we know a little bit on how Flutter works. Now I want you to experience now how to pull information from Firebase from your Flutter application. Let me show you that now. Let's go to step 15, which is the next step. I'm going to click on next. And then here I'm going to show you how is it that then you can connect to Firebase from your Flutter application. Remember that we imported these two libraries, the core library and the Firestore library. We imported those packages. Now we're going to consume them within Flutter. And the way that you do that in Flutter is you invoke the Firebase instance, you call the collection that you're interested in, and you pull the information. Simple as that. And in step number 15, I'm showing you exactly how you do it. So the way that you do it, you use the Firebase Firestore.instance from the package. Then you say .collection, you specify the name of the collection, and then you say either snapshots, because there are two ways of pulling data from Firebase. You can pull it as a one-time fetch, meaning just, let me just get it, or you pull snapshots. Snapshots gives you what they call a stream that then you can listen on, and any changes that happen in Firebase, in Firestore, you get notified. You see when we tap on the buttons and then we see the little flood emotions like showing up, that is what's going on. So I'm listening to a stream, I'm listening to the collection through a stream, like a pipe, and then I get notified of any changes that happen in the collection. I receive them automatically. That's what snapshots mean. So there are two ways of pulling data from Firebase. One-time fetch, you can just say .get, and then you just get the values. But if you say snapshots, you don't get it right away. You get only the initial payload, and then every subsequent item that gets added to the collection, you just get it like a stream. Imagine like a stream of values being streamed to you. So let's do that. Let me show you how to do that. So we're going to first prepare the UI to receive the data. So let me show you how to do that. So right under the text widgets, I'm going to shrink this again. Right under our text widgets, I'm going to add another widget called expanded. The expanded widget, for those of you who come from the web and you know CSS3, you may know about the flexbox model. So the expanded is kind of like a div with a flex of 1. So it makes it very flexible. And what this is doing is saying, in the column, these two widgets are going to occupy whatever their height is. And then the expanded widget is going to take up the remaining space. I'm going to take the whole thing, the remaining space in that column. So that's what we want to do. So now that you have the expanded widget, now we're going to add a special widget, very important in Flutter, called the Stream Builder. The Stream Builder widget is a widget that is very beneficial, especially when you're listening on a stream. And it's so helpful when you're using Firestore and you're pulling streams from Firestore. Remember, you can get it in two ways. You can get the data in two ways from Firestore. You can just say get, and you get it as an asynchronous call. You get the values. You get it just once, all the values at once. Or you say snapshots, where you get it as a stream. Every item that gets added, you get it. Another item, you get it. Another item, you get it. But if you do it the other way, which is .get, you have to do it yourself. You don't get it automatically. You have to go and make the call yourself. That's what I like, because every time the stream builder, you hook up the snapshot, which you get as a stream, and then you hook it up to the stream builder. The stream builder connects you to Firebase, listens to every incoming message, and gives it to you so that you can rebuild your widget accordingly. So let me show you how you do that. So the stream builder has a property called stream. And the way that you can get a collection as a stream of values into Flutter is using this approach. So the way that you say it is Firebase Firestore dot instance dot collection. So let's say if we want to read the values that are in Firebase right now, remember in our collection, let me go to Firestore database, we have a collection called team. And then team has two documents. Let me just see it right here. So you see this is a team, and then it has two documents. So if you want to get them as a stream and you want to see how many documents, you have to ask for the instance of Firebase, ask for the collection, and then query the documents in there. So let me show you how to do that. So right here, in the code lab, I'm saying Firebase collection. I'm going to say teams, for example. I'm going to say teams. Just team. And then I say dot snapshots. Let me see, I have collection. Okay, perfect, collection. Then I say dot snapshots. And there you go. That's it. That's all you need. By saying this, I'm saying, bring me the two documents that are there. And if you add another document, let me know so I can rebuild myself. So it's automatically. You don't have to go get it. The stream builder does that for you. And then the next parameter in the stream builder is the builder, which is a method that when you get notified of new documents being added to the collection, you get notified. This method gets executed. It's kind of like a callback. So a new document gets added, the callback gets triggered, just like that. Then in the builder, you hook up the callback. So the callback takes two parameters. It takes a context and a snapshot. Remember, we mentioned that Firebase has collections and then it has documents. Well, this snapshot, whenever you query Firebase from Flutter, you get those values. You get a collection or a document, but you get it in a different way. As in a collection, you get it as a query snapshot. In a document, you get it as a query document snapshot. A query snapshot is like a reference. It's like a pointer to that collection in Firebase. And then the query document snapshot is the reference to the document inside of the collection. But it's not the data itself. It's just a reference. It's like a pointer to it. So let me show you how you can ask for the data once you get like a snapshot of the collection, because this is what you're asking. Here you're asking, give me a snapshot of the collection called team, but give it to me as a stream so I can listen to it. So the way that you check it here, if there is data, you say if snapshot dot has data. So if it has data, you want to check it. You can check whether, for example, if you query in a document, you check whether if it exists. So that is the capability that the snapshot gives you. The query snapshot. The query snapshot is a reference to the collection that you can query it. So you check first if there's data, then you can, for example, like print it out. You can say return text, there is data, for example, something like that. But then if there is no data, you can just say, oh, return text and say no data, something like that. Let's see if this is working. So if I run it, remember, we're querying our collection called teams. So if I run it, and then when this rebuilds, it should say there is data. Why? Because I query the collection, I pull it down, and then it should say there is data. You see, there it says there is data. So now I know that there is data up there. Okay, perfect. Now, how do I pull the data from Firestore? This is how you do it. So the snapshot is a query snapshot. So you have to cast this snapshot as a query snapshot and pull the documents out of it. This is how you do it. So let's say I'm going to create a variable where I'm going to hold my documents, and then I'm going to say snapshot dot data. So now I'm going to pull the data out of the snapshot as a query snapshot, just like that. So you cast the data as a query snapshot, and when you cast it as a query snapshot, you can get the docs. What I'm saying here is, in this snapshot that I'm getting, something that I'm listening on, I'm going to cast it as a query snapshot because the query snapshot is kind of like a query to my collection. And then out of that collection, just give me the reference of the documents. What I'm saying here is, give me this team, give me the team with the 2 documents that are in there. That's what I'm saying right here. Now I'm going to print how many documents I have. Look, I'm gonna say docs dot length dot to string because I need to display it on the screen. And I'm going to, for example, like change the style on this so that you can see it. I'm gonna say like text style, font size 30, for example. I could do more. I could do like a 40, and then I could do like a color of like colors dot. Let me see. Oh, I'm sorry, the one that we did. Utils dot like main color, for example. Let's try that. This is just a simple test that I want to show you. You can continue on the code lab, but I just wanted to show you this. So this is how you pull it. This is how you pull the data. You can follow along. I'm gonna copy this for anybody who's interested. So I'm gonna copy the whole stream builder, and then you can put it in your code. So this is the stream builder. Now I'm going to run it, and then let's see what it does. So I hit run, and instead of getting there is data, I should get what? Can anybody guess what I'm going to get? If I'm querying how many documents and I'm printing that in a text label, you can just type it. Oh, there you go. Okay, anyway, the answer came up quicker. So it's 2. So I know that I got 2 documents. So that is what I'm querying. Now, if I want, yes, so now, of course, I know you were going to get it. So there you go, it's 2. So now, because I'm listening, remember, this is a stream builder from which I get a stream out of that collection. So if I now come here to Firebase, let me just shrink this over a little bit. And if I add another document, remember, Flutter is listening. If I come over here and add another document, and then I'm going to say name, and I'm going to add nav because he got it. I'm going to say photo URL, and then I'm going to do something. And I'm going to say age, and he's 20 years old, for example. Now, if I say, let me add one document, remember, the stream builder listens to every change in the collection. If I add one more document, what's going to happen? If I hit on save and Flutter is listening, if I hit save, the number changed to 3. So that's why this is exactly how you build things in Flutter. Listening, Flutter, then what it did, it listened on the stream, executed the builder method, and rebuild and just showed me the label with the new updated value. Let's add another one. If I go to the collection called team, and then, yeah, exactly, Drishti, you got it. So it's 3. So if I add another document, and then I say something, I can add my own document ID. I say name, and then I'll say Drishti. I'm going to add you here. So I'll say, did I get it right? I'm sorry. You go like this, and then I'll say photo URL, something, and then I'm going to say that your age is 5, whatever, anything. You're a child. Okay. If I hit save, instead of 3, you're going to get 4, and so on and so forth. If I want to show maybe remember, this shows that you can listen on a collection. But what if you listen on a document? You can listen on a document too, and then you can like update the changes on a document. This doesn't just listen on that. So I can say, for example, listen on the document, and you can do that as well. So it's so cool. I love the fact that Flutter allows you to do that, and you can like build really cool stuff. Okay. So now what I'm going to ask from everybody is this. We're going to do this together. again, this code lab, I'm not going to finish it completely because it takes a little bit longer for you to do that. But at least I showed you that in this whole code, in this little bit of code, let me show you. It's not that much. It's not that much. We are connecting to Firebase. We are building a simple UI that responds to changes in Firebase, and then you can build very robust and very dynamic pages. So what I'm gonna have you do now is we're gonna all go, if you're with me, and if you have Darpad open, I'm gonna have you go. Let's go to the code lab, and then I'm going to go to step number 21. So in step number 21, I am going to have you copy all of this code. So I'm going to have you copy all the code that is here in step number 21 into Darpad. So can everybody help me out? Let's go to the code lab. Go to step number 21, copy all the code that is in there, and let's just clean up all the Darpad and just paste whatever is in there. So I'm gonna do it also for you so that you can see how I do it. It should be very simple. It should be very straightforward. So this is how we're gonna do it. Go to step number 1, copy all the code. I'm gonna copy all of this. You can scroll all the way down and you copy everything. You just hit copy, just grab everything like this. Just hit copy. If you like what you did on Darpad, you don't have to delete it. All I wanted is like everybody to join me in this community session. So what I'm gonna do is I highlight everything. In my case, I'm just gonna delete everything, and I'm gonna paste everything that is on step number 21. After I paste everything on step number 21, I'm going to hit run. So I'm gonna just give you a minute or two so that you can do this with me. I invite you also, Kevin and Lionel, also open Darpad and just copy everything that is in step number 21. You copy everything on step number 21. Copy everything. You do copy. Go to Darpad. Delete everything in Darpad, and paste. After you paste it, then you hit run. What you're supposed to get when you hit run, and then you see like you're gonna see is the full application completely built, which I encourage you to build it on your own little by little. But if you get stuck, you can go to step number 21. You can grab all the code in step number 21 and you can just drop it in there and you can see how it works. That way you can understand all the things that are in the code lab. You don't get frustrated, and then you can immediately start learning how to build your own applications using real-time capabilities from Firebase, how to connect to Firebase, and how to how to build those robust applications so that you don't have to create your own servers, you don't have to create your own APIs. It's all created for you. So let me reload this one more time so as to make it work. So give me a thumbs up in the chat. Those of you who have opened Darpad, just copy all the code in step number 21 and just drop it in there. I just wanted to see who did it. Ricky did it. Awesome. Thank you. I want to see other folks do it because I want to see a community engagement. Awesome. Everybody has done it. Now tell me that you've done this and then that you see this page. So when you finish this application, this is what it's going to look like. So you're going to be able to have like a list view. You're going to learn about list views. You're going to be able to pull information from Flutter as a one-time fetch, kind of like to pull this information as a list. Now I'm going to have everybody click on the button on the lower right corner, of this page. If you're in this page, click on the lower right corner, this floating button, click on that floating button. If you haven't found it, again, make sure that when you get to this page, reload it, paste all the code and run it. And then when you're there, you click on this like chat icon. Now, if you are there, awesome. You click on that chat button. Now I'm going to have everybody here in the chat start clicking on the button that says send message. What I did here is the page that we were building. I built this page exactly with the same instructions that I told you. So please, everybody, start hitting the send message as fast as you can. I'm gonna do it myself as well. Click, click, click as fast as you can. Click it. This is proving that multiple people can tackle the same database and nothing happens to Firebase. It doesn't freeze up, it doesn't blow up. It's actually optimized for these type of experiences. Let's get it to 300. Congratulations, everybody. This is exactly what I wanted to achieve from everybody. This is the kind of things that you can do with Flutter and Firebase. You see how, with very little bit of code, I was able to, one, connect Flutter to Firebase. We also did your Firebase project. Now you can go out there, build your own applications using that same project that you created today. If you didn't create it today, you can rewatch this video and go back and do it. But I would encourage everybody to power your applications with all the features and all the things that Firebase has to offer, including Firebase Cloud Firestore, authentication, storage, cloud messaging, and more other features. So with this, I think we should be good. Because I didn't want to. Oh, Mark said bottom overflowed. Yes, it's because you may have shrunk like this. It may have looked like this, for example. That's okay. It's because maybe your window may have been like small enough, but that's totally fine. I can give you one pointer. Flutter has something called media queries. You could have done it also, like you could do it in the future, that when your screen is about to be shrunk, or so that things don't get cut off, you can resize your components based on the width of your screen. But that's okay. That's not a problem. At least I just wanted to, excessive clicking. Yes, you can do that in Flutter. You can do that with Firebase. And you saw how 13 people all together, we started clicking on the same thing. It didn't freeze up. It didn't blow up. And it responded very well. So go ahead, build your applications with Flutter and Firebase. I hope you guys liked this session. I'm going to stop sharing now. I just wanted to bring Kevin and Lionel now up to the stage. Lionel, are you able to come on now? Let me give you the presenter mode again. See if you can join again. Just let me know if you can join at least with voice. Can you join at least with voice?
Is there?
Thank you, Nav. Again, for those of you who are joining the GDG Montreal session, we're gonna be doing this same stuff in there with more cool things, more interaction. So I'll see you guys. So for those of you who are gonna go to the GDG Montreal Flutter Festival, we're gonna be there doing that. So yes, Paul, thank you, of course, as always. Everybody else, Ricky, thank you so much. Let's stay in touch to those of you who have won. Now we're going to wrap up with the raffle. We're going to give you a minute or two just to wait that to see that you guys have filled out the survey. Let's just give you a minute or two so that you can do that. Let me just actually grab this piece right here. So because
hey Roman, I have one comment about the stream builder. So the stream builder, when the widget tree is building, because we're pulling data from the database, and is there a way to improve the performance of rendering the UI? Because the UI looks a little bit slow when it comes up.
No, it's because where does it look slow? Where did you say that?
Well, when you run,
you may see it here, like through the screen, but if you saw it on your end, you should have seen that. And remember, this is Dartpad. This is on the web, so if it may improve, for example, like the performance when you have like a powerful device, you will see it like butter smooth. So the performance shouldn't be an issue there. If you saw it maybe through my screen, is because maybe I'm projecting. But other than that, here, like I wasn't even doing anything, and it was looking very, very smooth on my end.
But right now, my understanding, the database, Firebase does not have some kind of paging mechanism right now, because you have a larger database in Firebase, you try to pull everything down, it's gonna a little bit slow rendering the UI.
It has to do with how you architect it. Of course, if you architect it bad, you're gonna get bad performance. If you don't know how to do it correctly, you will get performance issues, of course. So you just need to make sure how to do it. If you do it like inside a set state, or you don't properly encapsulate your widget, or build it correctly, of course you're going to get, even in the best of the applications, well, a bad architected application will give you bad performance if you don't do it right. So I would love to maybe take it up with you. I can show you maybe a couple other examples where I can show you how you actually structure it correctly so that you don't get any performance issues. Because so far I've done it on the Flutter Flutter motions, on the map. On this one, I haven't seen any performance issues so far. Any questions from the rest of the audience? I think Lionel is not able to connect, which is totally fine. But what I wanted to do is just give you a chance to some of you guys to fill out the raffle. Let me just now bring up again, what is it that we're raffling here? Just making sure that everybody has it correctly there, and then we can continue. Okay. Again, like, follow the code lab link that I provided earlier, so that you can complete it on your own, or we can drop it in the chat. Let me just recap again on what the raffle items are. So if you filled out the survey, you should be good. We're going to be raffling one $100 Amazon gift card. We're going to be also raffling two $50 Amazon gift cards. Actually, let me share my screen now. One Amazon gift card, $100, two $50 Amazon gift cards, and three $25 gift cards. We have enough people. I think a lot of people are gonna get, like, pretty much everybody's gonna get like cool things in here. So why don't we do that? So what we're gonna do, let's give you 2 minutes. Is 1:48. So at 1:50, we're gonna start spinning the wheel, because we're gonna collect all the names from that you submitted. Anything from you, Kevin? Anything else from you?
No, just want to mention that the link to the raffle is actually pinned on the chat, so you can actually find it there.
It's pinned at the top. Yeah. Any parting messages for everybody? As a farewell.
I'd just like to thank everybody coming to this session, and hope everybody enjoys it.
Great. Awesome. Same here. So please make sure, again, to follow us through our social media, the GDG Lawrence in Twitter. You can follow us there. Again, this session will be recorded, so you can view it later on YouTube. Also, it's going to be on our main page, on our GDG Lawrence community page. Just to remind you, there's going to be a couple other Flutter festivals where I'm going to be hosting it, and I'm going to be helping out. So if you want to do a do-over, the next one, I'm going to have one in Montreal. There's going to be one in Toronto as well, so you can visit me there, and I'm going to be doing the same thing. So let's now pick everybody from I see a few more people just joined, so let me just grab everybody and wish everybody luck. Congrats to those who already have won, and the great thing is that you can join again. That's the cool thing. So great for you guys to again have joined and have participated. I loved all the interactions and everything that you guys have provided.
So Ricky is asking about your Git repo for the Flutter Motion app.
Yes, I don't have it yet. I have it private. I have it private, but you will get it. Ricky, you will have the public one, because I've already used it. It's very simple. I created it so simple. Like, even if you follow the tutorial that we did, you can build the Flutter motions yourself. But I'm going to drop the GitHub repo for that. So let me just do one thing real quick here. Ricky, so I'm going to be sending you the separate Amazon gift card as a separate thing, because you can even win again in this session. So let me just now bring this up over here, and we have the wheel of names. So I wish good luck to everybody one more time.
Best of luck.
Yes, best of luck to everybody. Too bad that me, Kevin, and Lionel cannot join, because I would have loved like $100 gift card, or of the plush toy. I have this one already, but I'll give the rest to you guys. So let's start. Sorry, what do we start with? Let's start with the I think people want the plush toys. So let's start with the plush toys first. We're gonna raffle 5 vouchers. Then we're gonna do the 3 Amazon gift cards, Then we're gonna do the two $50 gift cards, and then we're gonna do the $100 gift card. So let's do that. So we're gonna start spinning. Let me. I just want to be in the chat just to make sure. Oh, can you remove the duplicate entry? Oh, okay. No problem. So, slick of you. Just kidding. He got himself twice in there. I'm just kidding now. It's all good. It's all good. So perfect. So is anybody else twice or whatever? Everybody all good? Abhishek, you're twice. So nice try. Anybody else who was twice? Okay. Oh, you're also here twice. That's okay. I mean, it's totally fine. Just wanted to make sure that anybody else, yeah. But again, you're gonna get your chance. I hope that everybody does it. So Abhishek is there. Oh, Abhishek, is this the same you? Is this you? Oh, you were three. Nice try, man. Nice try. So I'm going to remove you one more time to make it fair to everybody. Just give me one quick look just to make sure that everybody is here. Okay, perfect. So now let's start with the five. Let me just drop this link for the team right here. Kevin, can you help me with managing who's winning and just
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna share the link in there. You should be able to have it in our repo. But let's manage who's winning, and then we know who wins what. Got it.
I have
So,
no access to your page.
you have it access?
No, I have
No, but it's
no
in the
access.
in the GDG Lawrence repo, in the GDG Lawrence repository. You can go there and you can find it.
I have no access, but I'll keep it on the note.
Okay, got it. Oh, you can just write it down then. Okay, perfect. So let's start with the five plush toys. So you're gonna get the plush toys and stickers. So let's spin. Good luck, everybody. The first plush toy, and stickers. There you go. Thrifty. Awesome. Thank you. So we have one plush toy. I'm gonna send you. Don't leave yet because or you can DM me or Kevin your email so we can send you the information so that you can grab this because it's a website that you need to put a code and then you put your information. We don't need your information, but we need your email to send you the link and to send you the code. So congratulations to you.
Congratulations.
Great. The next one is another plush toy. So one more. So it's five plush toys. The next one. Let's see if it stops. 100. Congratulations. Make sure that you sync up with us. Give us your email so we can send you the link and the code so that then you can get this shipped to your house. Congrats. Let's do the next one. So we already did two. Let's do three more. Paul, congratulations. You're gonna get this and you're gonna decorate your desk and have this this little guy next to you every day. So congratulations to you. Now we two more plushies and stickers from Flutter. Abhishek, congratulations. You got a voucher for the plushie and stickers for Flutter. Thank you very much and congratulations to you. Awesome. Let's continue. Now we're going to go with the Amazon gift cards. Three $25 Amazon gift cards. So let's start with the $25 gift cards. Let's start. And you have to give us your email. Actually, we'll grab it from the. Actually, you don't have to give us the email. You already provided it from the form, so that's okay. Ricky, you won again. $25. So you got $50, man. You got $50. $50 gift cards from Amazon. So you get 225 gift cards. Congratulations. Again, you don't have to give us your emails. We have them already, so we don't have to ask it again. Awesome. So let's remove and let's go with another $25 gift card from Amazon. Two more. Let me see when it stops. Oh, that was close. Kate, congrats. One $25 gift card from Amazon. Congratulations. Now, one more $25. Then we do the $250 and then the $100. Nav, congrats, man. You got it. We got your email. We're gonna send you your gift card. Sweet. Now let's go with the. Are we going with the two $50 gift cards now? We're done with the
Yeah, you're done with the 25.
Say what again?
I think you're done with the 25,
Yeah,
right?
done with the 25s. Let's do the 250 now. The 250 now. One $50 gift card and then the next one. So who wins $50? See when it stops.
Mark.
Mark, congrats, Mark. One $50 Amazon gift card in your inbox. The next one, who wins the next $50 Amazon gift card, thanks to Google. Michael, congratulations. One $50 gift card from Amazon. See a lot of people excited about that. And the last prize, which is $100 Amazon gift card. Do I have time to put my name in there? Okay, $150 gift card. Who is the lucky winner? $100 gift card. Who's the lucky winner? One $100 gift card from Amazon. Let's do it. And Ruby, congratulations. $100 gift card from Amazon. So with that, I just want to say thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for joining this session. You guys are amazing. You guys stuck all the way through. This is the kind of events that I love. I hope to see you on the next one. I hope you had fun in the Flutter trivia. Kevin walking you through Flutter, the beginnings in Flutter for introductory, and that you like the workshop on the creating your Firebase project and also hooking it up to with Flutter, and then doing the community meter and doing all these stuff, sharing your Saturdays with us. Now we're gonna let you go, but make sure to stay in touch with us so that we can see you on the next event. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Have a great day. Have a great Saturday.
Have a great day.
Now I'm gonna stop. Yeah, I'm gonna stop recording.